Yo, I move in tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I move with fertility, giving birth to all the truth in the seasons planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings that receive this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time for no minions. I just want to make this money, stack my bread up with millions, do this for my children, and do it all for my legacy. Let me see, wisdom, knowledge, long life, and longevity. I'm a king. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Yo, what up, man? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's me, Black Superman, and my dope co-host, Tony Magnum, back again with another episode, guys. And I know y'all super excited about this episode right here, because what are we talking about? What's the title? We are going to talk about some red flags in women. Red flags in women. It's funny. Me and Tony was talking a couple days ago, and I sent him the thumbnail, and he was like, who these two dudes right here being the darn thought police out here? I was like, yeah, that's what we are. We the thought police. We're going to put these thoughts on blast. You better believe it. How you feeling, Tony?
I am feeling good, sir. I'm motivated now.
You know, I gotta come with that energy, man. You know, gotta bring that energy to get the juices flowing, get the viewers ready, because this is a movement and this is a vibe. All right, so we about to definitely dig deep in this one right here. Hey, salute to everybody that's watching too, man. Thank y'all for returning. Thank y'all for coming back, the return watchers. And go ahead and throw a like on the video. You know, share. Let everybody know, man, that the next episode is back and it's on. And they talking about women, red flags in women. We're going to dig deep. So before we even really dig into the specific red flags, man, me personally, all I'm going to say is I've experienced so many red flags in women. And the best thing that I could really say, or the best way I could put it is the reason why I just tolerated it was simply because I just wanted a chick. I just wanted I wanted a woman. I wanted a girl, man. And in these moments when I really was like, let me find a chick to embrace and get with, because I really want a companion in the moment, that's when I was more susceptible of tolerating or, dealing with it, or even having a blind eye to these red flags. So men, fellow kings, brothers, don't feel weird. Don't feel soft. Don't feel like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? We all go through this, men and women. It's a natural, normal thing to want companionship and love from the opposite sex or from whomever it is that you're attracted to. You know what I'm saying? It's normal and it's natural. So just want to make sure I say that before we go into this stuff, so y'all can understand it's fine, man. All right, shoot, Tony, man, on your end, man, just how do you feel about red flags in general, or, especially women with red flags? What's your perspective on that before we dig into it?
The red flags, as you said, they are something that mostly men were young, were brought up in this gynocentric, single mother led society as of right now, and we're raised to believe that a woman is queen. So yes, we ignore these red flags that are like, hey, this person is just jacked up. I should probably stop. But we think with our hearts, we think with our dicks, and we ignore and tolerate because we end up being pussy whipped little mama's boys and we don't want to be lonely. So unfortunately, that's what we do. Until we actually accept that, men, then we're always going to be tolerating those red flags and always using the not our argument. You got to just realize when it comes to dealing with the red flags, she is who she is. You cannot control her. We don't have any kind of methods like that right now. So just walk away. You have to establish your own standards. Realize that you're not going to tolerate XYZ and just move on. Um, I got a buddy right now who's going through that. He ignored the red flags, but he finally had enough. We're trying to get men hopefully to basically establish the standard sooner than later, because eventually you're going to come too close to that hot eye, and then once you touch it, women are going to turn around, and this is the L that we're taking right now. We're going to be the guys being called bitter. No, we're not bitter. We're experienced. That's why we're trying to tell this to the young cats before they let them lead with their little head too much. Hey, you see this a little bit right here? You see that pattern? Watch out now. That's the best we can do, though.
Facts, man. I totally agree, guys. Like, listen, y'all hearing it from us, bro. Men our age, older or younger, it don't really matter. Knowledge is knowledge. Wisdom is wisdom. Take heed if you're smart and if you're, wise enough. Get whatever knowledge you can and grab a hold to it. It's the truth. You know, like Tony's saying, we're just here to kind of put stuff into your direction, into your stratosphere, into your dimension, so that you can be like, I bet now I know how to go forward when I'm dealing with these women, when I'm dealing with these chicks. Because I'm telling you, like he said, not all women, right? Listen, red flags is red flags. People are gonna tell you about themselves immediately, subconsciously. They're not even gonna mean to most of the time. And it's the ones they're gonna be like, damn, I said too much. They're gonna think about it afterwards, be like, oh shit, did they catch it? But
Mhm.
people, we can't help it. We're human beings. We naturally express ourselves and we naturally want to stand in our truth, even though we run from it a lot. So we need to use that as our benefit. We need to take advantage of that for our own self-sufficiency and self-security, so that we don't be dealing with the wrong people or put ourselves in positions where we're going through a lot of bullshit that we don't really have to go through. So these red flags are literally red flags. It's literally like a flag on a play in football. It's literally like things to get your attention, like, oh, nigga, pay attention. Did you see that? Did you see that? You know what I'm saying? And that's literally what it is. So that's why we're doing this episode, because hey, y'all might be dating, y'all might be meeting some of these women, y'all might be out here trying to connect and mingle. It's a beautiful thing, nothing wrong with it. But you want to be prepared. Don't let the booty fool you. Don't let the ass throw you off. Don't let them nice perky titties throw you off. Don't let her beautiful smile and those pretty eyes and how awesome she dresses. Because listen, women know, man, this shit is like a it's a tool for them. They know how to do it. They know how to wear the right color, everything just right to get you soaked into all of that. And them red flags be going pow, pow, pow. You ain't even paying attention, man. You don't even realize what's going on. You just ready
Just
to
real,
slide up in some.
just
What's
real
up, Tony?
quick. All that right there is called the illusion of innocence. We already said women know what they're doing, but they want to
Mhm.
play into that illusion of innocence because they don't want to take the responsibility of what they're actually trying to do. They don't do things directly like men tend to. So they'll wear the cleavage, they'll wear the short shorts, and oh, I just want to go out with my friends. Come on, don't do it. Don't let them play you like that.
Facts. Like, oh yeah, we just gonna go out. It's like we just gonna go out. I could see the bottom half of your ass, straight underneath the your bottom flapple, the bottom butt cheek is hanging out of the underneath the dress, and you just trying to go hang out with your friends. It's like, nah, man, nah. So, with that being said, we're gonna dig down to business again to these red flags. I know we pushing 10 minutes, but hey, we just want to put the real out, just so y'all can have an understanding of this stuff before we say all these things. So, This is gonna be. I'm gonna start the game off quick, and it's gonna be pretty bold. But you should know this. If you don't know it, man, I understand. All right, I get it. But the first red flag that we're gonna get into is that she's cheating on her man with you. So she got a man, she got a boyfriend, she got a dude that she fucking with, and she's showing interest in you, and you're interested in her, and now she's trying to see what's good with you. Brothers, kings, listen, man. I understand how it might make you feel, man, for a chick that got a man to want to be with you and get it popping with you. I know what we hear on these rap songs and what we see in the movies and from media where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm hitting your girl or I'm smashing your girl or yeah, I bet you I could pull your girl. It's dumb, man. It's dumb. Don't fall for that. That is a red flag because you sitting here worried about pulling another man's girl, not even realizing once you pull her and you get her, she gonna fuck around and do the same thing to you. If she will cheat on him, she will cheat on you, bro. Period.
That's just being naive if you think otherwise.
Yeah, you ain't that special, bro. I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, brothers. You special, man. You a special, man. You a king. You know we show love, but you ain't that special. If she's cheating on her man with you, best believe that she would cheat on your ass too with another dude that she might think is better in the moment and in the time. What you feel about that, Tony?
Very true, because men, our sexual market value is not in our sex game. So we got to get it out of our head to a degree of thinking we're sexy and we can pull women. No, no, no. Women just the women have to. Sorry. They just do this because of how things currently are. So we have to reverse engineer ourselves. And when it comes to your sex appeal and a woman getting attention, you got to stop like letting your ego flow in that. That's what I'm trying to get to. You got to stop
Mhm.
letting your ego be filled, because that's what they do. They want to play on your ego. It's called the chameleon tactic. They will tell you what they believe they want you to hear. I've heard plenty of times from plenty of women how they believe that I'm such a responsible man, got integrity, good role model, and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll admit that's stuff that actually sounds good to me. But I know the game now. You're saying that to appeal to my emotions. Another young man who he got involved with this single mother of three, I believe. Um, but the thing he wanted to
Mm.
brag about most of all was his sex game. I'm like, first of all, do you really think you're impressing this woman with your sex game that much? She just knows she's older than you. All she got to do is put some pussy on you, and there you go. They're playing you on that notion. Sometimes when you out there just playing the field, not looking for love, assuming that, you just got to take the free sample of vitamin P and enjoy the time for it, enjoy the moment. And then after that price tag, those little compromises and all that stuff start coming to play, it's time to bounce. Yeah, you got to learn how to I know some of us are. I'll take this hit right here. Some of
Mhm.
us are the lames, losers, whatever. I'm a lame as fuck. I'm lame as fuck. Born as hell. I got called corny sometimes by women, but you can't let that new thing of vitamin P who actually showed you some interest, and then all of a sudden you want to put all your eggs in that basket. Don't do that. That shows how much of a loser you actually are. Oh, I've had that when I was 19. Here comes that first little thing. But it's a horrible story. I already shared that story, but that's the idea. Don't put all your eggs in the basket. Don't think your sex game is what's keeping these women. And also, more often than not, I want to talk trash about men on this one.
Yeah.
The men who typically are the sex game dudes who are badass on that, no
Mhm.
disrespect to you, but ladies, talking to y'all, these are the guys who are not going to build something with you later on. You already gave them the prize. You can't tame these men with your pussy. They already know that they're sexy and all these women are going to come get them. So you see how I'm trying to help you out right there too. Don't
Mhm.
think that your vitamin P is going to tame the macho alpha dude. He's smashing and dashing, and then you're going to end up complaining about the deadbeats. But you already knew he's irresponsible.
There you go. Yeah. Totally agree with that, man. Yeah, don't think that your dick game is the main thing or your main power or value. Trust and believe that Don't get me wrong now. I mean, if you're talented there, women will know that. And I mean, also, if you come to a place where you like, all right, bet I got my wife, I got my queen, and I'm cool with monogamy, your wife will appreciate that for as long as y'all have sex. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. It's an awesome thing, but don't lead with that like as if that's your powerful value, because your sex game will lead you right into a ditch messing with these different women. You know what I'm saying? To bring it back to the whole red flag, if she cheating on her man with you because your sex game and your dick game is that on point, right? What if she find another man? That lets you know right there that when she gets tired of the dude that she's with and they dick game, she's gonna be ready to go start looking for another guy and see where she can get a better dick game. So if you putting all your eggs, like Tony's saying, into your dick game, or if that you know that's why you got her. She even told you this shit. Another thing too, if she's telling you, if like y'all having conversations and she telling you about her boyfriend, and she like, yeah, he can't even hit it right, he don't do it right, you know, he doesn't know what I like, he don't know how I want him to hit me from the back, you know, and do it this way, and I want him to choke me a little bit, you know, all these specifics, and she's criticizing the man that she's with. What makes you different from her doing that same exact thing to you with another man? If she talking about her man to you, who ain't her man yet, when you do become her man, she will talk to other people about you, just like she talking about the man that she with right now. So that's a
Mm.
red flag. I'm telling you, women, men and women, we both do. It's human nature. We stand in our truth subconsciously, even when we're not even consciously trying to. So we literally telling ourselves body language, shit that come out of our mouths that we ain't even realize when we saying a number of things, guys. So I think, me personally, I think God made it like that on purpose for our security, so that we can understand things and have information to protect ourselves, to have increased discernment. You know what I'm saying? So use that wisely. So yeah, that's a big one right there. Yo. I'm telling you, if she cheating on her man with you ain't nothing special, bro. She'll do the same thing to you. I'm telling you. A cheater is a cheater, and that goes for women and men. Now, real quick, let me rephrase that, because that saying, I'm not a big fan of that saying. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I'm gonna be honest. I do think that people who cheat um, probably will fall victim to cheating. But I also believe that people mature, men and women. I also believe that people grow and people learn as well. So if we limit anybody like that, or if we judge people and be like, "Oh, you cheated that one time, two times, 6, 7 years ago, you'll do it again," it's like, how stupid is that? We evolve as human beings, so we can't really put that label on somebody because they fell short, or they sinned, or they messed up a couple times in the past. So I'm debunking that whole once a cheater, all a cheater, because I've cheated before in my past, but I ain't ever cheated on my wife. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. To each his own. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into this next red flag, man. I already knew this was gonna be deep, man, because we talking about red flags. We ain't talking about normal shit. We talking about the stuff that we talking about stuff that women don't want. Hey, the certain women that we're talking about don't want us to talk about. We put people on blast, and I'm happy about it, man. We here for
You
y'all, brothers.
been, you hate women. You got a bad relationship with your mama. Here it comes.
It's like, no, bitch. We just telling the truth. That's it. We are just telling the truth. You know, it ain't got nothing. You know, and it's funny you say that, because me and my mom, we don't have the best relationship, but this ain't got nothing to do with me and my mom. This got all to do with the women that we talk about, the red flags that we talking about. And if you align with it, it's your ass. You need to change, motherfucker. You need to
Get
make
them.
some changes.
Get them.
Yeah, you old twisted bang lace front having motherfucker. No, I'm just playing. All right, so we're not going to do that. You old toupee wearing motherfucker. Get him now. All right. So, all right. So the next red flag, if she's rude to people, her father, her family, especially her father. And you know what? Before I start to dig real deep into this next red flag, I don't want to ignore some of the commenters that we have, guys. My apologies, y'all. I'm just so excited about this episode. So we got Romeo. Romeo says season 2 is lit as fuck. Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, season 2. This is season 2, man. I really put a lot of anticipation and hope into it being way better than last season. So good to hear that. Thank you for that feedback, man. We definitely appreciate that. My mouth dry as hell, but I'm gonna have to give me some water. All right. Then we got Sharon. You know, Sharon, man, she's a return watcher. We appreciate you. Sharon is back. She said, "Hey, hi guys, salute." And it's good we got a woman on here. Man, listen, I hope we get some more chicks on here too, because I want y'all to comment and we ready for all the smoke. I already know Tony ready, so I ain't even worried about it. So Tony energy when he come on this podcast and we talking about women, I already know Tony ready, so I ain't even worried about that. Bring the smoke. We want the smoke.
It is what it is.
But on that note, I digress, right? Um, so yeah, if she's rude with people, man, if she's rude with her father, especially if she got a bad relationship with her father, if she talks shit to her father, cusses out her father, just causes crazy stress for her father, this is a huge red flag, kings and queens. Queens too. Get your shit straight. Um, this is a huge red flag. If she's rude and mean to people, waitresses, waiters, y'all going out to eat, y'all getting something to eat, y'all having a nice dinner, and she's just being very rude to like the waitresses, the waiters, the servants. That is a huge red flag. All right. Um, just being very kind of acting like she's better than the servants and just being rude for no reason. It's a big red flag simply because, if she'll be like that with other people, she's going to be like that with you once you start doing shit that she don't like, or once you start moving in ways that's displeasing or aggravates her or is annoying for whatever her neurotic issues are. It may not even be like, correct. It could be all in her head. You see what I'm saying? It's a huge red flag. It's a difference from being rude and just kind of like, expressing how you feel about how somebody's acting with you, right? You could do it, you can respond in a healthy way, or you could just be just straight rude. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this is a big red flag simply because if she's being rude to her father, bro, she's gonna be rude as shit to you. Trust and believe. If she giving her father that energy, somebody that she should be respecting and revering as the man who brought her in this world, who the hell are you at that point? You ain't bring her into this world. You're not her father. So it's a huge red flag. Tony, how you feel about it, brother?
When females are rude, it's this sense of entitlement, and also men.
Yep.
We have to play a role into that, because a lot of the reason why a lot of these women are uppity and just hyper arrogant for no reason is because we allow it. We allow
Yep.
it when we tolerate it. So
Facts.
her being rude to her father in that scenario sounds like he's a kind of a weak man. You're not that role model. I would dare say you're probably that stepdaddy who just fell in love with this rude, arrogant female, and her daughter's right there just playing by ear. Let me see this other female. Uh, she decided to. I would say also watch out for the ambitious women, because
Mm,
the ambitious women who want to be that CEO, got the power shoulders from the 80s, you got all that shit going on. Watch out for them. They believe just because they got more money than you, they will lord it over you. They think they're better, and the bad thing about that, it just doesn't play into whatever current scenario. Who cares how much money you got? So men, we have to look at that as a woman who's bragging about her money. That's a woman who doesn't know how to shut her damn mouth and make a sandwich for a man to pay her bills. So she got to do it. Start thinking of it that way.
mm,
When you got a woman out there who's making all this money and whatnot, don't you look at that as a value. A woman who's working who just fails as a woman, because if she was a real woman, a real man be paying her bills. That's just the natural order of things. But she fails as a woman because she bought into the whole feminist jargon, and now she's out there freaking working all these mad hours and just having any iota of power just to yell at other people. It's sad. And the only thing you could do when you got female supervisors and stuff like that, and you know they're on that trip, what a shame. You lonely as fuck. You gotta have that confidence and just let it ride. Another thing about rudeness, it's just bad manners for people. It just shows a lack of respect for others because you're trying to be rude to people, just
Mhm.
because you got some insecurities, men and women. The idea of you just being forthcoming and rude and outlandish, that you're just trying to compensate for your scared weaknesses. You're trying to put a front on for everybody else to fall for.
Facts. Yes. It's and another thing too is it's really a projection. You know,
Oh,
when women like highly project negativity. So like the best way I could put it is if a woman is being rude to someone that she shouldn't even really be rude to, like the people aren't really doing anything that's really that bad. It's really a projection of what they think about themselves. So I'm gonna dig a little deeper with that. So like say a woman, she's dealing with the waiter and the waiter's, doing his thing. He's bringing the stuff, but maybe he might have made a little mistake. You know, the first little mistake that he made, maybe he forgot to, I don't know, maybe she didn't want ice in her soda or some shit, right? Oh, no ice, and it was ice in the soda. If she responds and be like, "Yo, do you understand English? I clearly told you no ice in my soda. Get this soda out of here and bring me another one." Listen, this is a huge red flag, bro. Flag, Kings. You gotta remember that woman is gonna be raising your children. And listen, the reason why I can say this type of shit is because I made the mistakes of not paying attention to red flags and actually being in long term relationships with women like this. All right, well, one woman specifically. So I know all well about what I'm talking about. Listen, you get a woman that's being rude like that with people or waitresses or waiters and stuff like that, man. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Get away from that bitch, man. Straight up, because you might not see it yet. She probably ain't really showed her true colors yet, but those colors is gonna come out and they gonna show, and you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, the point I was trying to make is the reason why she's probably being rude with those waitresses is simply because it's something about herself that she doesn't like, or maybe she don't like the fact that she tends to miss the mark a lot, and she feels like she's not enough.
mm.
And now she's projecting that onto the waiter, when really the person she really mad and upset with is herself.
I got a quick story.
Mhm.
Also, don't man, do not let yourself be the excuse or the shield for her to be rude. Because I'm a big old dude. I was hanging out with some of my brother's more uh, shady friends at this time, and the females of the group were like, "Oh, that's Tony. But we're gonna go out. We're gonna be protected." I already had an encounter with a female who thought that same thing. She wanted to act a fool, but I wasn't tolerating it. I threw her happy ass over my shoulder. We stepped out of the club. No, you ain't doing this to me. Um, so here now I learned from that experience. Here they are already giving me that red flag that they're going to do something similar. Oh, we got a big old dude that's going to protect us. I said right there, hey, if shit happens because it happens, we're leaving. I'm not here to go to fight no motherfuckers just because y'all want to act a fool. So
Yes.
after I said that, apparently the idea of going out kind of died. Gee, I wonder why. Come on, don't let them use you like that just to act a fool.
Hell no. Listen, I'm so glad you brought that up, Tony, my man, co-host on the VKP, Virility Kings podcast. Because that's some real shit, bro. Like, and women will do, not all women, but some women who deal with this will do that. They will literally use your strength, use your power as their shield and their defense to fall back on. So they'll get the big attitude with a dude for no reason. They'll bump into a dude and kind of look at him like, "What the fuck you gonna do about it?" Because they know you there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing wrong with us as men being that protector, especially for your girl. But you want to be that protector for someone who deserves that protection, not with someone who's going to take advantage of that protection. What Tony is talking about is about people who are going to take advantage of the fact that you may be the individual that may fight some shit for them. I'm gonna give y'all a quick good story. So I had a situation where a chick that I was with at one point, this is when I started to kind of wake up a bit, right? About being taken advantage of. And I was with this one chick, and we was at a party and whatnot, boom, bam, boom, the party was jumping, it was dope. We was having a good time, you know what I'm saying? So then something pops off with the chick that I was with and the dude that was there. And it was between her and the dude, and they had a situation going down, right? So while that was happening, I actually was already out the house. So I wasn't even in there. You see what I'm saying? I actually left. I think I was going to the store to get some more to drink or something like that. I thought I was getting some alcohol or something like that. So out of nowhere, I receive a call, and it's the chick that I'm with, and she's like, "Yo, KG." KG is my nickname. You know what I'm saying? That's what they used to call me, KG. But she was like, "Yo, KG, man, this dude up here, he talking about he gonna put his hands on me and bop, 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 bop," right? So back then, I was definitely more ruthless in a sense. So I'm like, "Oh hell no! All right, I'll be back." You know what I'm saying? That was the young me. That was the stupid me, right? So I hurry up and got back and went back to the party. And I was out. That's back when I really was about this, about that shit, about that life. And I walk in there, had the pistol and everything on me. And I mean, it went out, but I had it on me. And I walked it back up in there. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on in here?" I'm talking about yelling, like music turn off and everything. So people, I was a bit respected. You know what I'm saying? So when I came with that kind of energy, everybody kind of like, "Oh shit, that's KG." Like, yo, all right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So the dude in there, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up, nigga? What you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna hit who? Who you gonna hit?" Right?
Mhm.
So then, um, he was like, "Nah, man. She put her hands on me, right?"
Okay.
So boom, this other chick comes and runs to me, grabs me, boom. "No, KG, come here, man," and pulled me out. I don't even know how the hell she did. She was on some like superhuman shit for real. Like she grabbed me. It was like, "No, KG, come here." So she take me to the side. She was like, "Listen," she was like, "The chick that you with is foul, yo. She really went up on him and was like pushing him for no reason and was starting stuff with him, right?" So I was like, "For real?" I'm like, "Okay." So that's when I woke up. That's when it clicked. So I went and grabbed her ass. I took her outside. I'm like, "Yo, why are you coming here starting shit with people? Like I brought you to this party with me, yo.
Mhm.
Why are you starting shit?" "No, I'm not starting nothing, man. He bumped into me and something, 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 something." So then I was able to really figure it out. Like, okay, now I see what's going on here. So she know how I am. She know that I don't take no shit with nobody, and she even seen me check people too before that. So she probably like, "All right, I'm with KG. I ain't got nothing to worry. Somebody try me. I can start something. I ain't got nothing to worry about." I told her, I said, "Listen, you ever do that shit again with me, you ain't never coming out with me again." And she never came out with me again after that. I stopped talking to her after that. But
Nice.
after that situation, the point I'm trying to get to is I started to think first, like when women would come to me, even my girlfriends after that, you know what I'm saying? I started to think like, all right, let me figure out what my girlfriend might have did. Before I jump to conclusions, before I say anything,
Oh snap! He done disappeared. Um, while he gets that situated, let me go ahead and feed off that energy right there about men with power or some kind of clout being taken advantage of. My military people out there probably know what I'm talking about. The officers who have the blue sticker on their POV vehicles, here comes their wife driving that car. Now, typically, we're default thinking you see the blue sticker, you pop a salute. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, sometimes people are like, okay, that's not the officer, so I'm not going to salute. Some of these wives, these military wives, honestly think that they can just, they're entitled to the salute themselves, and they go and tell on the captains or whoever that, oh, this person didn't salute me. And the sad part still is that some of these captains will go ask you that marine or that army dude for doing his job, and it's like, what? That's not the officer. Female, that is your husband, and you're trying to use his rank to bully other people. Sounds like a certain team who likes to use their power to tell other people what to do. Wonder what I'm hinting at there. But again, men, we cannot. If you are a powerful man and you have some authority, some pull, keep your woman in check, as in don't let her be that childish bully trying to hide behind you to mess with other people. That's just rude. That's rude, that's senseless and very immature. Don't let that happen. Who? All right. Kevin's gone. I wanted to see what other red flag he wants to pop up because I don't want to double speak. Let me think of something. Let me think of something. Red flags in general are, oh, he's back.
so I leave, I come back. Nah. So I learned after that, I'm like, yo, now when women come to me and they start, saying it's a problem or trying to hurry up and get me stirred up to defend them, I know now to think first, like, Well, wait a minute. Did she start this shit? Let me get the full story. Is she even in the wrong or is she even in the right or the wrong in the situation? Bros, make sure you think about that before you go trying to defend a woman, man. All right. I don't care how much you love her. I don't care how good the pussy is, man. Think first. You know what I'm saying? And keep that in mind. Like, yo, is she right? Did she do something wrong? Did she just start some shit with somebody and I don't even know nothing about it? And that really helped me out, man, throughout my life, man. Like I was able to really think first with women. And, some of these women that I was actually around will usually be the culprit to some shit. So I was able to really think ahead, and I actually found out in a lot of cases that it wasn't the chicks. I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't the people, the dudes. It was them. So definitely keep this in mind, guys, for sure.
Real quick, a story on the opposite end of that. When I was
Yeah.
bouncing at my strip club, these I don't know these I want to say these hot Atlanta strippers came in. They just came in at the very last minute of the club, and they wanted to treat the place like they ran it. I'm like, no, sweetie, I'm sorry, but we have different rules here, yada yada. But they coming in thinking that it's supposed to be one of those. What's that stripper name? Spider. They wanted to do all that stuff. No, it's not that. We're more low key than that. They wanted to just tear up, put their feet on the tables and whatnot. I was like, all right,
Mhm.
y'all got to go. After many verbal warnings, y'all got to go. And of course, the little ratchet one want to look at me like, well, I don't really give a fuck. You definitely got to go. I'm motioning them out, and they want to sit there and try to big up and try to buck me. Oh, don't touch me, don't touch me. Start moving then. Don't touch me. All right, it's time to touch. I'm pushing. They want to push back. I honestly, I'm sumo pushing these like three fucking bitches out the club. Bam, bam, bam. I'm gonna get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And the reason why they're doing this, maybe the one part ratchetness, and the next part, they had two fairly sizable dudes with them. But
Mhm.
I'm over here looking like, dude, they're using y'all to act a fool. But guess what? Guess what happened? They all got the fuck out. Old dudes over there trying to talk to the manager and whatnot, and I'm just standing there like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, what's the next step? Because y'all want to send for these bitches and possibly get your ass whooped by me and my other bouncers. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it, but here we are.
Facts.
Ooh.
That's really what it is, man. You that's gonna be the outcome. You sit here and try to take up for some women who moving in this type of energy, being rude to people, being fucked up to people, and they also have this idea that you may protect them in that, whether they right or wrong. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, man, that's gonna stand up for a chick if she wrong. That's stupid. Now you're being taken advantage of for their bullshit. And then people are gonna judge you off of somebody else's bullshit. So, keep that in mind, guys. Don't do that. That is a huge red flag too. Being rude to people, pay attention to that. Waitresses, waiters, they family, they father, especially. But you know, them also doing that, starting shit or stirring shit up, and then coming to you as their defense and their protection, or running to you like, oh, they're trying to hit me, or playing the victim and shit. Get away from that chick, man, because she's gonna continuously be that type of chick for you, and she's gonna bring more drama and bullshit to your life. So that's a huge red flag for sure. All right, so here's the next one, right? And it's a big one for sure. Something to pay attention to. A lot of these red flags too. The reason why I kind of flow out of our consciousness a bit, or even our awareness, is because some of them are a bit subtle. It's like it could even be confused a little bit too. It's like, well, maybe she like that because she really liked me a lot, or maybe she's acting like that because she's a loyal chick and she just really want all of me. Bros, get your ego out of this shit. All right, stop being validated by this shit, because I know it may make you feel that way. It may make you feel good, like, oh, she's really into me. Oh, she really liked me. Oh, I'm really her king. And it's like, nah, she got a whole bunch of issues and something's wrong with her, bro. And you need to pay attention. This shit is not a good thing. It's bad. It's gonna hurt you in the end and during this relationship. And it may even become toxic because of those issues. So keep that in mind, guys. So this next one. If the chick is showing signs or is very possessive, like if you going to hang out with some friends, or like if you going to chill with some people, or chill with your friends, or chill with some people that's outside of y'all connection or relationship or whatever y'all got going on, and she gets upset about it, or she's acting sad, or her energy is kind of like negative,
Mhm.
right? Like a negative feel or negative energy with you going and chilling. Let me tell you something. That shows a lot of possible issues. That shows that she's like super duper needy, like overly needy. Also it shows that she obviously wants you to herself, like you, just you all to herself. That can come off a bit obsessive, you understand? And when you got neediness and obsession and some of these dark types of feelings and emotions, man, that can get real toxic in a relationship, yo. I'm telling you. Those are signs of a very um twisted type of attachment style. You know what I'm saying? There's different attachment styles. And that's more into like a kind of like a insecure attachment style. That's the best way to put it.
Okay.
These are signs of insecurity. You understand? These are signs of insecurity. And I'm not gonna lie, I've dealt with some of this stuff too because of issues. So these are red flags. You want to pay attention, man. You don't want to be dealing with somebody who has serious issues because listen, you're gonna have to pay for that in your relationship. So, if she's very possessive, if you try to go chill with your boys, or you trying to go do this, or you trying to chill with your family, and you noticing some kind of like negative type shit, or she start acting a little different, or she doesn't
Maybe
really seem to like that.
maybe guilt trip you to not go.
Yes, a huge sign. Because now we got some manipulation in play. Now you're being manipulated. Now she's trying to guilt trip you and have you feeling sorry or feeling bad for her. Like if she start kind of crying or something, like oh, I don't really have anybody to hang with, or I don't have anybody to talk to, and I just wish I had somebody to go hang with. Now you're feeling sorry and shit. You don't want to. I mean, it's a natural feeling to not want to just leave somebody that you talking to like that because you like, oh shit, they're fucked up, bro. This is a red flag. Don't do like what I did. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like you need to be the fixer and you need to try to help them and fix them in that situation. Like, oh man, don't be sad. Uh, I'm not gonna be gone that long. Like, boom, boom, boom. Don't do that. It's a red flag. She's not the one for you. You understand? She got some stuff that she need to deal with. She got some issues and insecurities that she needs to deal with before she even get in a relationship. And I'm saying this because, like, I have my own issues too. My wife had her own issues too, has her own issues too. And I could look back at all this shit and be like, damn, if she would have paid attention to my red flags and I would have paid attention to her red flags, my children wouldn't be here, so that'd be sad. But y'all get the point. We could have prevented a lot of things for us and a lot of the bullshit that we went through as a couple. So, you know, just trying to pass this information on to y'all. Y'all can prevent yourself from going through a lot of shit that you don't want to go through. So that's a big red flag. Tony, what's your perspective on that, bro?
On the manipulation, now that's a woman's basically field of operation for the most part. Manipulation. They don't take their problems head on, so they got to manipulate the environment for their favor. There
Mm,
was something back in the day, I want to say maybe the late 90s, called Mean Girls Club or something, where you got the popular girls, here comes the new girl, and they don't like the new girl, so they freaking tell other people to manipulate the situation. So watch out for how they want to play with your emotions. They will guilt trip. They will even some extreme notions of self mutilation. They will threaten to harm themselves.
woo.
There's extreme notions of that too. Um, Basically, that person is too toxic for you to deal with, or even try to fix her. No, call the police and let them handle it. You got to go because you're not a psychiatrist. It doesn't matter how much money you spend or if you even start making the sandwiches. That's a crazy one. You got to let that one go. And unfortunately, men and women, there are just maybe crazy is too strong of a term in these PG times, but there are
Yeah.
people who are mentally jacked up who are just best avoided. It's not your responsibility to take care of them like that, especially if they're not your wife or anything. And you should vet your people before you put that full ringer on them, and that would be best. But yeah, watch out for the manipulation, getting if your person, your partner, and this is for women too, if your partner isn't what you believe they are, you cannot change that individual. So both sides need to accept that about other people. You cannot change this individual. If this individual, no matter how hot you may believe they are, and you want to try to start something, if they got those too many red flags, this ain't the one. It's okay. Move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Have that mindset before any real relationship commitment. Don't use that as in, oh, after the relationship's done, you try to compensate for your ego. Well, there's plenty of fish in the sea. I got to get back on that horse. How about having that before a relationship starts? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Why should I pick this fish over all these other ones?
Yes, man, Tony, you killed it, bro. Yes, that's a fact. That's the biggest thing that I wish I would have thought about. Why am I so focused on this one fish when there's literally billions of fish in the entire world?
Mm-hmm.
The world is our the world is our territory, man. You know what I'm saying? It's billions of women around the world. It's like, why be so focused on this individual? See, if you tend to deal with the things that I deal with or dealt with, where you feel like you need to fix, or you feel like you need to do something about it, then you want to take heed to what we're saying. Like Tony said, which was powerful. You are not a psychologist. That is not your job. That is not your occupation. And you don't have to put that type of work into a woman. You understand? You need to be putting the energy into yourself and making yourself a better man. That's the thing that I wish I would have paid attention to. But now I'm learning, and it's never too late for anything, guys. It's never too late. But that was a powerful points that Tony was hitting. And guys, take heed to that. You know what I'm saying? These women, what it is, the people that are crazy, right? I love to say this when I'm talking to my wife because we love mental health. I love mental health. We always talk about it, right? And I've been studying it for about 10 years. But a lot of people who would be considered crazy for real, that percentage is very small, right? We're talking about the sociopaths and the psychopaths, right? Where most of them congenitally have issues, meaning they were born with some type of physical, mental, chemical imbalance. And that's why they're crazy. And and it is a small it's a small percentage of those people, right? Most people are not crazy. A lot of people just are dealing with the aftermath of traumas, negative stories that they tell themselves in their own brain,
Mm.
which further perpetuates depression and negative feelings and issues, which further which further perpetuates negative thoughts, stories that they tell themselves, and negative core beliefs. That's what's wrong with a lot of people, and that's why they tend to act in these ways, and that's why a lot of people are insecure, right? And that percentage I believe, is a lot higher than what people think. I think we got a lot of this shit backwards. The crazy people is very small of a percentage of the world. Most people aren't that crazy. And then the people who are just dealing with a lot of emotional and mental issues and trying to grow from that, the percentage is bigger than what the world thinks. And that's why I think a lot of people just feel uncomfortable because they're afraid that people are going to think they're crazy if they express their truth. Me saying all of that is listen, you run into a chick who's giving you signs that she may be dealing with a lot of these mental and emotional things. Let her go, man. It ain't your responsibility. You might really like her. Y'all might really be vibing, but then you got to ask yourself, why do I like this chick so much? Why am I attracted to someone who's dealing with these types of emotional issues? It's a deeper reason. It's because you got to dig deep into yourself and you got to realize and understand and become aware of why you feel attracted to that energy. What's going on with you? Because you are literally attracting most of the time what's going on within you and how you view yourself most of the time. So
You,
that's a
you
clear
are the
indication you need
company
to
you
figure
keep.
out what's going on.
You are the company you keep.
Facts.
Uh,
Facts.
quick little notion. A young man I
Yeah.
was talking to about this stuff, he basically says he needs to stay away from relationships because he acknowledged in himself that he basically is attracted to toxic women. He kind of likes or is drawn to women who are abusive. He acknowledged that that wasn't healthy for him to be in that scenario, so that's why he backed away from relationships, at least for the time being. Hopefully, he sticks to that, do bigger things, but we'll see.
Yeah,
But the
he's a
fact
wise man.
for the fact that he was able to acknowledge that, that is big points right there.
Yes, powerful, man. That be the key that will really change somebody's life. You know, one deep thing that I like to think about when it comes to life, and that really trips me out. I think one of the episodes before I kind of said something about this, about just like how we're alive and how powerful that is. Like how we was that one sperm cell that beat all the other sperm cells and shit like that. Like the powerfulness of chance, right? And it's like the guy that you're talking about right now. What if he didn't think that way? What if he didn't think like, you know what? This is actually unhealthy for me, being that I'm very attracted to a lot of these toxic women and I need to fall back and deal with me. What if he just didn't do that and just kept going with the toxic women? It'd probably be some kids here. He probably would have had kids with some of these chicks. He probably would have married them even in the trauma and the toxicity.
Hmm.
And, I'm a prime example of that. So, guys, catch on. Catch on, man. You find yourself thinking that in your mind, you ain't crazy. You right. You're right. You may be attracted to these women and it's time to change that, but you need to figure out why. You need to become aware of yourself to figure out, what did I go through in my childhood that makes me attracted to this toxicity? This obviously is comfortable to me. This is obviously familiar to me subconsciously, and that's why I'm so attracted to it. That was my story. That was my story, guys. That's the reason why I ended up choosing women that probably wasn't the best choice for me. That's probably why I tended to try to fix my relationships or fix the women that I was with to make them perfect, to love me the way I deserve to be loved. Is because that's what I was doing when I was a teenager.
I'm sorry, that was funny. Like, love me this way.
Yeah. But not even doing it that way, but literally like saying, you need to fix this, you need to change this. You
Hmm.
need to do this. You need to stop doing this. Trying to help them change and trying to force them to become a better person. So essentially, and that's a great metaphor. Essentially, that's what I was doing. It's like, I'm like, bitch, you better get better, stop. You see what I'm saying? But not doing that, just hiding it behind this idea of, I'm here to help you. I am here to help you change and improve. That was the problem. And it literally just comes from my childhood and when I was going through the most trauma in my life, in my household, because I was trying to fix my mom and her boyfriend's relationship. I was trying to fix my mom, like, Mom, this is where you messing up at. You're doing this and this is the problem. You need to let that guy go. We don't need to be going through this anymore. That's what I was doing for years as a kid. So dig deep and really, really look back into your childhood and think about the traumas. Think about if you went through domestic violence at home. Think about if you were going through some toxicity as you were growing up in your household, and you'll be able to really realize and figure out why you're so attracted to toxic women. It's probably because you grew up in that, and that was your familiar. You know, you eventually got comfortable with that shit, and once you got comfortable with it, it became your new familiar, right? So when you see women showing you any signs of that shit, you like, oh yes, your dick probably get hard and everything. It's like, oh yes, come here, toxic energy. I'm about to smash you and then make you better. So come here. I can't believe I just said it. You feel me? But so yeah, I know that was a mouthful, but listen, it's real. Think about it, guys. Think about if you find yourself attracted to toxic women. It's within you. It's not the woman, it's within you. It's time to deal with that. All right. So we're gonna go on to the next red flag, right? And this red flag here is a big one, actually very big, right? But a chick who is like overtly jealous. No, a little jealousy is normal. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a normal trait of human beings, and it's actually healthy to be a little jealous. If you with a chick or if you're with a mate and they ain't a little jealous, then it's kind of like, yo, do you really give a fuck if like somebody was to come up on me with some type of stuff? You may want to question that. But a woman being overtly jealous, like if a chick just look at you, or if y'all going out to eat and the waitress is sexy and she's just being nice to you and showing you nice attention because that's her fucking job, and she probably want a tip. But your girlfriend kind of get an attitude with her and be like, you don't have to look that hard at my man, like some wild shit like that. Bro, that is a red flag, man. That's something to think about. Or like, we're gonna take it up a couple more notches because believe it or not, there's women out there that's like this. But say the chick, the waitress is, kind of like, because waitresses do this and they do it because they trying to get a tip most of the time. They might be feeling you a little bit, but most of the time they're not gonna just disrespect your woman right there, right? Um, they might just be kind of friendly a little bit because they know you're gonna get to give them the tip. And if she's just being friendly, she might even come over, kind of laugh or kind of like bump you a little bit, like yeah. If your girl get up and she like, look, bitch, don't be touching my man, or like, you ain't got to do all that shit, and going wild like that, man, that is a huge red flag, man. That is a humongous red flag, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like making a scene like that out in public, just doing the most because a chick was just being nice to you. You don't want that energy. She deals with some serious issues and some insecurity issues that could definitely become super problematic in your relationship later, and it's gonna bring up toxic energy. She gonna get jealous about a lot of shit that is probably very, very innocent, and there's nothing like that involved with that. Where your perspective at on that, Tony?
That seems to fit in with the idea of the insecurity. And women, unfortunately, are insecure by nature. And if they don't acknowledge it within their own selves, as in, it's good with that jealousy factor that they want to look at it as in a sense of competition to do better for your man rather than thinking all the other women are your competition. It's like, yes, but you don't take them on head on. You just do a little more. If that means you may need to stop eating so much cake, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
You have to stop eating so much cake, maybe actually learn how to cook or something like that. Use it for to make yourself better rather than just lashing out at people you think are your competition. And men, if you got to also, it's our responsibility to, I want to say discipline women, but I don't want that to be taken the wrong way.
Like give him a whooping and shit. Like, yeah, come here, stop. I'm gonna
Now,
whoop you.
we can't be back in that time, but we're going to be more of the idea of just holding them accountable and not allowing them to embarrass us in public. And a lot of the part of that is that they know they're protected by other men as society. So you gotta this is why the red flags are important, so you can know, okay, I'm seeing this early sign right here. Do I dip now, or maybe I can check her a little bit as like, hey, I can't be having you do that. That you need to stop and hold true to that standard and that threat meant. So late on the jealousy factor, ladies, if you do feel jealous, maybe try a little harder or tell your man how you feel. When you gave that woman a hug, I felt some type of way. Maybe be honest with you. Men, again, the red flags, just pay attention and be like, hey, that woman means nothing. She was just a server. All she did was smile at me. There's no need to hang on to that knife so tightly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, really? Yes. We would like extra sandwiches or something. No, don't do that to her now.
You be looking at her and shit. She got the damn knife in her hand the whole time, and you kind of catch it out the corner of your eye, like, yo, why she hold on to that knife like that? What the fuck? And then that's when you probably kind of wake up and be looking at the chick and be like, oh shit, yeah, she's being real friendly. All right, yeah, kind of try to play it off. But yeah, yo, Tony, I feel you on that, man. And listen, it is a red flag, y'all. Straight up, for women getting overtly jealous like that, it's definitely a red flag. And I'm not saying it to bash those women because like I said, the things that I've been through in my life, I dealt with a lot of issues. I even was moving in insecurity. So I got a quick little story, just real quick. The mother of my child, my son, my first child. This is around the time when we first met, and she brought me to a party where it was her and her friends and whatnot, her college friends and whatever. And we went over there and we was chilling. Everything was cool and vibing. But she had this one friend, what I'm saying, a guy friend, right? So I can admit, I was definitely dealing with insecurity around that time frame, and I just kept noticing things the whole night. You know what I'm saying? Just little shit. Like how they was kind of getting close. And then she was like kind of bending over right in front of him because we were playing pool and shit. And she'll like kind of be talking to him, laughing, bending over, shooting in pool, doing pool. So, for 1 second, I had to really ask myself, like, yo, is she doing this shit to make me jealous on purpose? You know what I'm saying? I had to kind of, because women do that shit too. That's another red flag. But I ain't even write that shit down. But you know what? I think I'm going to talk about that. But anyway, um, So eventually, I think she kind of bent over. He kind of went behind her, right on her ass, right. So I
Mhm.
immediately turned up right away. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is you doing?" And I don't know if I grabbed him by his neck. I did something. I pushed him or did something. I did something to him. I think I pushed him off her. I shoved the shit off him. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is you doing, nigga?" Right? Like the gangster KG came out immediately. Like I was ready to do some crazy shit, right? So then I pull her outside. I'm mad at her too. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is you doing in there?" So she coming at me and she's like, "Yo, why are you acting like that?" Right? Don't, pretty much kind of flipping it like, "Yo, why are you acting like that? Over here at this party and this, that, and the third." But in a nutshell, one reason was because I was a bit insecure. I'm not gonna lie. But also the shit that was happening shouldn't have been happening though. Like that, he shouldn't have got behind her though. And she shouldn't. She should have said something about that. That's the point I'm trying to make. So essentially, that still was a red flag on her part too. But yeah, it was. I feel like that was a healthy jealousy because I could have really got real crazy and I could have cut her off after that. I could have said, you know what, fuck you. You sitting here doing this, in front of me and this, that, and the third, or letting him get behind you like that. I could have really got real, messed up and real grimy, but I didn't. But the point I'm trying to make it is a red flag if a woman just really gets overtly jealous like that and ready to stab somebody because they're doing something that's normal and that's not offensive or messed up or disrespectful like that. So it's a big sign. A chick come up to you and hug you, and you hug her back, and she's really looking like she ready to kill the chick. You can look at her and everything at the same time while you hugging her, just looking at her like, oh shit. That's a sign. She giving you the look like, I'm about to stab this bitch. As soon as y'all get done hugging, it's definitely a huge sign, guys. So definitely keep that in mind and think about it, man. You don't want an overtly jealous woman, but you do want a woman or a person, obviously, who does exemplify slight jealousy. That just shows that they love you and they don't, they don't want nobody it's normal to have a slight jealousy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's change the energy of the jealousy and let's call it effort.
Hmm.
Trying to, you put a little try hard, you put a little try, so that way you keep the competition away. I'm already here. I'm doing the work here.
I feel you. Yeah, that should be the mindset of the individuals. Like they should be like, okay, well, if I'm feeling this way, then let me make sure I got my shit in line. Like let me make sure I'm playing the part and I'm reaching the mark.
Mm.
Then I ain't got to really worry about it like that. Uh, but yeah, but psychologically, they claim that it's nothing unhealthy about it. I don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like keep it 100. Well, I've been meaning to ask you this too, Tony. So you've been in a relationship before, right? Like I know you said you was on the V Club and all that, but have you been in a relationship?
The closest thing was that 19 story. That was the closest thing when I was 19 years old.
So did you ever find yourself kind of feeling like, well, maybe you weren't in the position, but like, has she ever been interacting with a dude in the back of your mind a little bit, not in a crazy way, but just kind of like, yo, I hope that dude, I hope ain't nothing popping off and like, do you ever feel like that or not really?
No, because I was the other guy basically in that story.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you actually was experiencing the red flag.
That was the experience of the whole red flag thing. That was the thing about the relationship factor, or realizing how much I was putting my eggs in that one basket,
Yeah.
and the fact that basically she wanted, like you said before, that she wanted another guy, and basically I was just trying to get my dick wet, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
It was like I was feeling my heart, but I'm like, hey, when are we going to get to this part? Until all those other that living single scenario popped up. It's like, damn, I gotta stop this. So that's why I grew too. So I wasn't like
gotcha.
jealous. I knew she was already dealing with this other guy. So that whole mindset of thinking she's going to be just for me, it didn't click with me. I already knew what position I was.
I feel you. Like pretty much you already had your mind set. You like, yo, I'm just trying to get my dick wet. That I feel you. That's kind of different, especially at 19. Like I had a multiple of chicks that I was just like, yo, I'm just trying to get my dick wet. Some of them probably didn't even look the best. There's a number of things, but men were men. That happens. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, that's a real thing, man. Women getting overtly jealous. That's a huge sign. She beat him, fucked around, and beat your cousin up. You know what I'm saying? And she don't even know that's your cousin. Your cousin come up to you like, oh, what's up? And y'all hugging and y'all showing each other love because y'all family. and she be done took it the wrong way and be done choke slam your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to think about. That's a huge red flag if she's overtly jealous. Listen, if y'all hopped on this video, listening in any streaming platform, go ahead and throw a like on this video to show your love and support for the podcast, man. We appreciate y'all listening and watching. All right. So look, we're gonna get into this next. We're gonna get into this next red flag. But before we jump into that next red flag, we're gonna go ahead and do a quick video for our sponsor. Obviously, it's Superhuman Labs, powerful supplements, guys, especially for my men who want to improve your virility, increase testosterone levels naturally, improve performance, sexual performance. You know what I'm saying? Flexing like me and Tony. You know, you go to our Instagrams, you see us flexing on IG, but we really do this shit in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's a real life thing. We ain't just bullshitting for the gram. We do more of it off the gram. You know, then you're gonna want to mess with this product, man, and this sponsor that we're about to show y'all. Virility is awesome. Maximal libido is awesome. So enough talking. I'm gonna just show the advertisement of Superhuman Labs, and then we'll get back to business. Let's get it. That was an advertisement from Superhuman Labs for Virility, which is a powerful all-natural supplement, guys, with herbs, vitamins that help men increase their performance, athletic, sexual performance, and overall virility. That's why it's called Virility. If you're interested in that powerful product, go to superhumanlabs.store. Once again, that's superhumanlabs.store. All right. Powerful supplement, getting crazy reviews. People men are loving it, man. It's changing the lives of a lot of men. All right. So boom, we're gonna get back to these red flags. Y'all girls ain't getting let off easily. We're gonna keep putting y'all on blast. All right. So, and I'm so happy to do this because somebody need to say something about it. So here's the next red flag that you men want to definitely be paying attention to. All right. Definitely want to pay attention to this, guys. This is a big one, a huge one, right? But if she pretty much physically hits people when she's upset, or gets physical with people when she's upset or angry, or has even told you stories, because women do this. Women tell on themselves, man. I'm telling you, women are the biggest proponent of telling themselves. And they don't mean to. They just like to talk a lot in that sense. But if she tell you a story that, you know, she hit her ex-boyfriend or she got physical with her ex-boyfriend, listen, this is a big ass red flag. And the reason why it's a big ass red flag is because as soon as you make her angry, as soon as you get her upset, just like the other people got her upset, just like the ex and the other dude or whomever else get upset, she gonna start hitting you. She gonna try to come at you with that energy. And you just want to think about that. Like, do you want to be with someone or a woman that move like that handles how she feels and her negative feelings in that way in terms of getting physical? No. You want a woman who can have her feelings, have her issues, and come to you and communicate like a healthy individual and let it be known how she's feeling and what she's dealing with, or what got her upset, or what she doesn't like. You understand? You want a woman that could come to you and respect you in that manner and never try to raise her hand at you, but will actually come and try to talk with you and compromise with you. and be like, hey, when this happened, I really didn't like that. It made me feel da 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 da. It made me feel lonely. It made me feel disrespected. You can respect a woman who will come to you and communicate like that. But if she just gonna come at you and just start swinging every time she get mad or she trying to hit you, man, that is a super duper huge red flag. You better run the hell away from that chick. And I don't mean in fear. I don't mean run like a coward. I mean run away for your life, like with wisdom and understanding.
Mhm.
Because women who are getting physical are really, really dealing with some serious issues. It don't mean that they crazy. It just means that some point in their lives they just learned that that's the way that they deal with what they're upset about or with what somebody does that they don't like. They learned at one point in their life that, okay, so if I just hit somebody, then I'll get the respect that I want. Then I'll get the respect that I need. Then people will respect what bothers me and they won't do it anymore. It's really a defense mechanism. These women feel very, very weak inside internally and very insecure. So that's
Mhm.
their way to try to bring back the security. They learned that at some point in their lives. So listen, that's too complicated for you, man. You don't want to be dealing with no women that's dealing with those types of issues because they're gonna project it onto you. They're gonna bring that energy to you. They're not gonna try to deal with it. They're not gonna even uh be accountable for it. They're not gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I do have a problem. That's why I'm trying to swing at you. You get a chick that'll say some shit like that to you, then you might have a little slight chance with the individual. But if you really love her, you might be able to work it out because then you could support her. You know what I'm saying? If she realizes she got a fucking problem that she need to deal with, but if she don't realize that or nothing, then man, it's a red. I still say it's a red flag, bro. A chick try to swing at you, bro. Get out of Dodge, bro. Don't waste your time with a chick like that because you're gonna end up knocking her head off, man. And I know you don't want to do that. If you're a real king, a real man, you don't want to knock no woman's head off, bro. Like for what? That's stupid. That's easy. I mean, like, what's the point? You know. So where you stand on that, Tony?
I stand on yes, people being just violent when there's a difference between violence and self-defense. Okay, and people
Yeah.
who just choose violence because they got emotionally disturbed, yeah, that's just a bad sign of those individuals. Now, talking
Mhm.
about women, another big problem when it comes to them choosing violence is that they still know how to play the victim too. As soon as you grab her or push her off you or any kind of defensive tactic, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to
The
call
police.
they're going to call the other men, the police, and they're going to call all them to freaking come punish you for not allowing her to do her fuck shit.
Mhm.
Don't put yourself in that position. See that red flag, especially when it comes to violence and even talk of violence, not just like you said about the past relationship, and you're trying to fail on her, but she's talking about past relationship violence, like it's cool.
Mhm.
And also where I was talking, this is another little story about the gold digger. This is after we butted heads, and I finally butted heads, and then she just wanted to try to embarrass me and talk all this bunch of mess. And I just went down the list. This is what you're doing right now. Blah 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 blah. This is what you're doing right now. Blah blah
Mm.
blah blah. So here comes this part, basically trying to tell me to something about look in the mirror and hurt yourself, trying to sound all smart with it. And I'm like, you are just dumb as fuck. And I'm like, see what I mean by you choosing violence, but you want somebody else to do the work. You want me to look in the mirror to smack myself. You choose violence, but you want me to do it to myself. Weak. I was on her that day. I was pissed. It's like
Mm.
you basic ass bitch. You don't even realize how clumsy you actually are with all your little tactics. All those red flags. That's why I avoided all of them. That's why I labeled her the gold digger. I used her as a prime story when it comes to these situations. Um, and
Mm.
also, men realize this also when a woman chooses violence, they do it also because we protect them from it. So
Mm.
don't fall for this tactic, or it's really common in our society. We hear it all day. Men shouldn't hit women. Cool. That responsibility falls on them too. Women shouldn't go around hitting men. If we're supposed to be all big, powerful, and can harm a woman, doesn't it make sense, ladies, to not confront a man physically? Y'all bickering about whatever, not even a relationship. Let's just say it's a random dude. Y'all bickering about whatever situation. Why the hell would you choose violence against a man? Odds,
Exactly.
odds are that man, odds are, and a lot of women take advantage of the fact that men won't fight back. That shows how much of a coward you are. If you're going to just take advantage of the fact that a man won't fight back because you know you're backed by the simp army and big daddy government. But what if that one man just decided to not give a fuck and lay you the fuck out?
Exactly. Then
So
what?
so don't choose violence, okay? Self-defense, if that threat's coming at you, by all means defend yourself by however you can. You know, maybe that creep, maybe that, let's just throw a man under the bus. He's just a legit creeper. He's grabbing up on you, just doing all that bunch of mess. Yeah, call the Samp Army to get him off you. Sure, nobody's going to argue that. But if you just over here swinging, slapping, and doing whatever to humiliate a man, you're going to press him too much. And when he decides to cold cock you like that, one random bitch from that bus scene that was a meme about a few years
Oh
ago.
yeah. He say you done fucked up now. He said you done fucked up now. Caught her ass. Boom.
Boom. And it's not to something to be championed or praised, but you stepped into that line of life. It's you stepped into that world. My mother, she's considerably a tough female, but she even acknowledges, why the hell would you ever try to take on a man physically? Like she acknowledges like 100% that there's no way she's going to take on a man. Now other bitches, she might throw hands with them if she needs to. She had her ratchet stories, but but when it comes to a man, she, oh hell no, why would I do that? But she choose to walk away if you got a anger issue and get help. Get help.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, bro. And I seen some I think I seen a video that you put up with your mom. I think you was asking her on IG, you was asking her some questions, I think, about what these women think or something like that. And I think she was like, go on, Tony, or something. It was on IG, right? It was a video on IG, and you was asking her some questions.
She was getting upset, like, Tonyo, go on with that noise now.
Yeah, but she seemed cool. Your mom seemed cool as hell, bro. I meant to tell you that, but I seen that video. I was like, yeah, his mom seemed mad cool. My mom cool like that too, bro. One day, hopefully, we might be able to get both of our moms on here, man. It might take a little work for me to get my mom, but if I can get her on here, definitely want to get on it. Just to get an older woman's perspective about men. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. Or even what they think about what's going on right now in society. So I think that'd be lit, bro. But yeah, man. With the point that you're saying, man, yes, you hitting it on the nose, bro. And yeah, women. See, and here's the thing, kings, brothers, because this is definitely for y'all. This episode is for y'all. Y'all don't got to worry about that. Let them worry about figuring out why they shouldn't hit a man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about it. You need to know if she coming at you with that energy, that listen, it's time to get out of Dodge. That's a red flag. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to figure out nothing with her. Don't try to talk it out. Don't say, hey, why are you trying to hit me? Or none of that. Just be like, yo, I'm out. I'm out of here. And get the hell out of Dodge. I don't care if she drinking or sober or not. It don't matter. That ain't no excuse either. She be like, oh, I was drunk. That's why I was trying. Nah, fuck that. Get out of Dodge.
That's more of that manipulation too. Oh, don't pay attention to it because I had a few. So that means if you let it pass, that's an excuse she can use the next time.
So when she get drunk, now she could take all that anger out on you now. So she can wait until you get tipsy because she got you thinking that, oh, it's tolerable then, or it's justifiable because she's drunk. Man, fuck out of here. It should never be justifiable for a woman to put their hands on you, for anybody to put their hands on you. Period. I don't care what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we can't TOS a woman. We ain't gonna terminate on sight, a chick, unless we ain't got no other damn choice. And our life is that. I'm gonna tell you right now, if a chick put my life in danger, oh, she gonna feel that vibe for a second. And it's not gonna be a high vibe. It's gonna be, she ain't gonna want that vibe. You know what I'm saying? She gonna feel that heat, unfortunately, just to get myself at a place where I'm like, all right, I'm in control. Yeah, but guys, it's a red flag. Don't waste your time with that bullshit. Keep it moving. Find a woman who's more feminine, because that shit is not fucking feminine. I'll tell you that right now. It is not feminine for a man to be trying to fight a dude, bro. It's not. Don't get it twisted. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the next red flag, guys. And this is, none of these red flags are more important than the other. Nothing. They are all equally important, man. Like, you need to be paying attention to every last one of these red flags, because they all could fuck the game up for you if you get a chick that be moving in this type of energy. And real quick, Sharon, we got Sharon on here, a woman that's actually expressing something. And she said, I've seen red flag with my son's girlfriend. I bet you have, Sharon. I bet you have, mama. I'm gonna call you mama right now, because you my mom's age. I'm gonna call you mom. I know you've seen it. Because mothers, that's one thing that I will say that mothers tend to do well with when it comes to them teaching their daughters and talking to their daughters. Most mothers do real good at seeing red flags in men. I will give them that. Other than some of the other advice that may not be the best that women tend to get their daughters sometimes about men, they usually do good though when they point out red flags. And it's simply because, they're older. They got some years, they got some wisdom. So they've been able to, learn from a lot of their own experiences and their mistakes. So yeah, Sharon, listen, that's dope. Or even her seeing, the red flags in her son's girlfriend. Talk to your son. Talk to your son. Men, listen to your moms too. Your mom gonna know. But make sure your mom ain't jealous or hating too, because some moms be a little jealous too, feeling like they're gonna lose their son. So make sure you're not dealing with that with your mom too, because
Oh
they don't
wow.
mean no harm. A lot of moms don't mean no harm, but if they really love their son, boom, boom, boom. Most of the time though, it's gonna be in love, and they probably really see some red flags. So brothers, listen to your mom, if they pointing out some shit, because they're women, so they know. They're women, so they really really understand that concept coming from a woman. So definitely pay attention to it. All right. So the next red flag, right? The next red flag is she doesn't show appreciation, man. Like
Mhm.
like she doesn't show appreciation. She doesn't say thank you, like that. This is a big, big red flag. And I'm gonna tell you why it's a big red flag. Because if she doesn't say thank you or she doesn't show appreciation, that means that she feels that you're obligated to do things for her and to treat her in these ways and to do for her if you are, or be a certain way toward her in terms of giving or being generous to her. She doesn't tell you thank you, then that means she feels entitled. She feels like, yo, you're supposed to do this to me. And
Mhm.
listen, you ain't supposed to do shit to nobody. You don't
Yeah.
have to do anything. You don't have to be obligated to do anything for a woman or a chick. Always remember that, kings. And if you notice that, it's a red flag. I'm telling you, if you're around a chick and she don't say thank you, I know it sounds so simple, guys. I know it's like, oh, say thank you. I mean, man, thank you is a big thing. Those are some big words.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If she can't say that to you when you're doing things for her, when you taking her out to eat, if y'all dating or if you even vetting, you know what I'm saying? If you just smashing, if you anything like me, shit, they wouldn't get nothing from me. I ain't play that. That's one area where I was not a simp, bro. I'm telling you. I might have some other simpish ways because of the things I was dealing with, but when it came to things like that, I really, I wasn't giving no money or doing that for no chicks, especially if I was just like hitting them. I'm like, nah, forget that. But everybody's different, to each his own. But listen, if they don't say thank you, fellas, it's a red flag. Where you stand with that, Tony?
This is where I think one of my downfalls with women is I will admit it, I am a nice guy. Women who just don't know me off the rip, just see me acting my normal ways, they automatically read me as a nice guy. And a lot of them do try to take advantage of that. And I've grew to a point where I understand now this is what they're doing. I understand what I am. So I have to take that step back and not let my niceties be taken advantage of. So let me see. This one female I was dealing with, she, I don't know, just felt so comfortable to ask me for money off the rip. This was when it was like a flirtation ship, let's call it that. And that one time, what I did gave her some money. It was for pizza. It was for pizza, and I was like, I even told her. She asked me again, like really quick, and that's when the red flag and everything started picking up. Like, hey, I can't give you no money on that right now. Just don't have it. But she asked again, and I was like, I was like, hey, right now I think you're being spoiled. I think I'm spoiling you. So yeah, don't ask me for any money. And but at that point, she actually backed off rather than just straight up drop me off on that next point. So that was actually her respect me a little bit. But then later on, she just got too damn stupid. I cut her off.
Mm,
I'm serious. You cannot let these women, these entitled women, take advantage of you. And this world of feminism, it's weird where these women want to talk all that good independent stuff, but they still got their little handouts expecting you to take care of them. we
Yes.
we just gotta know not to do that, because remember, we live in the world of equality. They are supposed to be adults, so the idea is for them to do the same thing as men, but it's that level of accountability that's the difference between men and women. So it's up to men to hold women to that same accountability. If I'm not going to do for you unless you're going to do for me, and if not, cool, keep it moving.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Especially, that's a big thing. I think women expect us to not have that type of mindset of view with them because they're women. It's like, nah,
Mhm.
listen, I feel like we need to. I actually had to learn that we have to have that view with everybody. That's a woman, even friends, partners. You know what I'm saying, coworker or business partner, whatever. It's like, yo, if they're not gonna somewhat reciprocate or come with the same energy, then you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be going balls to the wall in a certain area, and they're not really willing to do the same in return. How's that fair at all? You know what I'm saying? How's that even healthy? So, man, I totally agree with that.
A quick note on that, ladies, if you think that a certain person, certain people with a certain genitalia should act a certain way, is that sexism? See,
Mm,
sexism is a two-way street. So men can't don't
mm.
let these women get away with this stuff. They like to play that game. They're just the victims. Everyone's picking on them and yada yada. No, you open the door for a lot of it yourself, and then you still expect men to come save you. Don't do it, gents. They can't save themselves and be adults. Oh well.
Facts. And it ain't nothing grimy about that. You know, that's something that I dealt with for a while. And I'm always going to fall back on it, guys. I like to bring up my own issues or the things I went through or the stuff that I'm still overcoming just to let you know if you are going through these things, you can overcome it. You know what I'm saying? If any of this stuff relate to you, or if you find yourself being with a woman who exemplifies some of these red flags, I'm here to tell you, bro, you can change and you can make changes and you can do something about it. That's why I don't mind sharing my own issues or my own mistakes or where I might have messed up in this stuff because it's a part of life, yo. We all gonna adapt to different things and we all gonna be a certain way after the things that we experience. It's actually normal. It's not crazy. You're gonna
Mm.
respond to trauma in that type of way, which is a healthy response. It's not like you was born like that. Um, with that being said, yeah, just keep that in mind. Don't fall victim to that with women. You know what I'm saying? Don't let women place you in that position. And now you feel like a victim. It's like, oh God, now I got to deal with this shit. So because it really be like that. It really be like that. But yeah, if you can get a woman who shows you appreciation, understand that that is a powerful asset. Uh, it's so deep. Even though I made a lot of these mistakes and I'm still paying for it right now, and the two main long term relationships that I've had, I went through a lot of these red flags I'm talking to you right now. With me and my wife, and we're growing and we've gotten counseling, therapy, and we're healing in a lot of ways, me and her.
Mhm.
As we're healing, I'm starting to really notice and really see the powerful things like appreciation being shown or like trust. My wife trusted me to be the man of the house, the head of the household, to manage the finances, to do certain things. A lot of women don't be wanting to trust men. And it's because of their own issues. It's because of their own issues with them and their father. It might even be because their father probably missed the mark in their childhood. So it's hard for them to trust a man, right?
Mhm.
That ain't your fault. That's another red flag. It ain't even on the list, but another red flag. If you see that she's not trusting you to be a man, or like not trusting you to play your position, to do what you got to do, that will distract the hell out of a man. Women, if y'all are watching, you want a man to be there for you. You want him to be the provider. You want him to do what he got to do. Do not hound him and do not overtly express that you don't trust him, because it'll really get in the way of him performing, man. Keep that in mind, women. But to get back to the main point, you have to understand, guys, that it's okay if you're in this position and you could actually overcome this and grow. by learning, by listening to the red flags that we showing y'all, and just understand. Okay, this is a sign I need to fall back. It's fine. All right, we got a comment from my man Homer Simpson. Hopefully you still here, brother. He said a bigger red flag to me is if she just doesn't clean my clothes and house. I'd be like, seriously? All right, Homer. Let me tell you
Can
something, bro. Yeah, go ahead,
I,
Tony. I know you want to tear him up, but I'm gonna let you go. Go
no,
ahead, Tony.
I don't
Oh,
want to tear him. I want to tear him up. I'm actually going to kudos him on this one. The
oh,
reason being,
okay.
yes, the reason being, women, it's not that complicated to show appreciation to men, especially more traditional minded real men. We're not that hard to please. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a clean house, that sandwich, and willingness with forthcoming with the vitamin P. If honestly more women acted like that, where men would be working harder. Men would be
Yes.
working harder. But but a lot of women do try to give the vitamin P up to the people who ain't nothing, and they think it's going to tame them. The men who are already established, and then you want to show that you appreciate them, do this for them. Be that, not to demean it, because being a housewife is a great position. That means you don't got to try as hard as these feminist women out there playing that college debt off.
Exactly.
Let's call it. They already ahead of the game. So just show the appreciation to the men who's out there willing to bust his ass for you for 40 whatever hours. He's putting a roof over your head and all that good stuff. Make that man a sandwich.
Yes.
He comes home. You make the home front um, a relaxing environment. Allow him to recharge so he can go back out there and work for you. So I'm right. I'm with Homer on this one. He's like, yes, it's not that complicated. But if you're worried about, you think more about what you can do to make your man happy. If you think more that way rather than worrying about all your needs being felt, if you got that ambition to have your needs met, then you need to go get a job, because that's equality. That's that independent stuff. You go ahead and be independent. If you're not willing to make the man happy so he can provide you that home front for X amount of kids that y'all may want, if you're not willing to be that woman, then leave men alone. But
Facts.
if you do want those benefits of just basically not having to work, have a loving man, show him that you love him by, yes, bring him a sandwich. I want to come home and smell game. Just laundry's done. Don't you want to come in? Just,
Yes.
smells green in here. Here comes that hot
Oh,
plate of just bacon and turkey sandwich and cut. Got the little toothpicks up in there looking good. Hell yeah!
yeah.
And then
Yes.
she's already dressed up in lingerie. So you're going to get some of that good later on. All right, and then
Oh,
I want to keep this. Let me go back to work.
yes.
It's not
Man, that
complicated.
it
Now
really ain't.
you were about to blast him though. What would you want to say?
So this is why I was gonna blast him right now, and you my dude, Homer. So don't take this the wrong way. I mean it in all respect and love. So I wasn't gonna blast you like go in on you. You my guy, man. You watch my stuff. I see you watching my stuff. So all love. I wasn't gonna blast him, but what I was gonna say was is if he's saying a bigger red flag to me is if she doesn't clean my clothes and house. If it's your clothes and your house, like if y'all don't live together. See, I don't know his situation. So I thought, when I'm saying red flags, I'm saying like, dating or getting to know chicks or potentially, talking to women, right?
Mm,
So she ain't obligated to clean your clothes and your house in that time frame. You know what I'm saying? But I know he might be meaning like, now if he means his wife or like girlfriend or they already established, they're exclusive, then yeah,
okay.
that's why I agree. But that's why I was gonna kind of blast him for a second, just in that sense.
Mm,
But I don't know. So Homer, man, you can clarify a little more on that, bro. If you mean like while you're meeting a chick, or if you mean y'all already exclusive, that's your bitch, that's your girl, that's your wife, whatever you want to call it, and you're expecting these things, then that's a different ball game. If you've made those expectations clear and she's not willing to do it, even though you made those expectations clear, then I understand why you'd be like, yo, seriously? Because
mm.
that is pretty fucked up. If she's living in your household and that's your bitch, you know what I'm saying? That's your girl, that's your wife, right? But
I
if
know
she
you.
ain't, then no. If
I
she
know
ain't,
a
y'all
dude.
ain't, huh?
I'm sorry. I know a dude right now who's going through a divorce, and that was one of his complaints about the divorce. She
Yeah.
was just did not appreciate him going out doing all these business meetings and making money for her. He makes good money, but
Mm.
she didn't clean the house. She was just basically a lazy nanny and didn't even clean up
Mm.
nothing else like that. So and then eventually he went on another business trip. He comes back to divorce papers. Ain't that some shit?
So she divorced him.
She, I think it's like 80% of divorces are initiated by females. So she over there being lazy and she gets called out on her bullshit. Now she wants a divorce and try to take some of his property.
Oh, that's foul. That's
Yes.
very foul. So now you're mad because he's actually telling the truth to you about where you're not meeting the mark. So now you want a divorce, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But in all
That's it.
actuality, you really don't want a divorce. You're just doing that to manipulate him so he'd shut the fuck up. And you can keep being comfortable and keep doing what you're doing, you know. Women to do that too. And then when they really dealing with a real masculine man, what they'll realize is like, damn, oh shit, I asked him for a divorce and he's actually up for it. Then they end up feeling stupid at the end because they're like, damn, a masculine man ain't gonna be going back and forth and playing with you in these situations. You want a divorce? All right, shit. I I love you, but hey, if you're not willing to compromise with me, if we got something situated or established and we both understand what the expectations are and you ain't willing to compromise with that, then you want to divorce me, get the fuck out of here. I'll find somebody else then. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. That's the thing. That's the difference between men and women. And I think a lot of the times women mess up because they sometimes might think that we think like them. We don't think like y'all.
Mm.
We do not think like y'all. Not all women think this. Some women are wise and understand and have knowledge. But the ones who do think this way, y'all got to understand that we do not think like y'all. We don't.
The masculine men do not. It's like, hey,
No.
if you're bringing a headache, we value peace, especially when we get older.
Yes.
We value peace more. So if I'm going to
Yes.
deal with a woman, you're not adding to that peace or keeping the peace I have. You
Yeah.
got to go.
Facts. That's a big deal.
You got some men who we're trying to encourage men to embrace that masculinity even hardcore. You got that woman who's giving you these red flags or causing you a headache. It's time to go. Bounce.
Hell yeah. So Sharon, we got a comment from Sharon, and Sharon said she pretty much was saying that her sons don't listen when she tries to tell them, the red flags of the girlfriends. And
Uh-oh.
then she put, but some females think by keeping a man is doing everything for them, right? Um, yeah, I mean, if a woman's doing everything for him,
What does that mean?
yeah, like when you say that, what do you mean? Do you mean like doing what for him? When you say what's everything to you, Sharon? Like when you say doing everything for a man? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, a masculine man ain't gonna want a woman to do certain shit because he's gonna want to do it. You know, that's my own personal opinion concerning it. But
And a lot of women do have they make a mountain out of a molehill all the time. So
yes,
when I'm hearing that, I'm already going to everything for him. So housework is too much for you. Mind you, that this is the housework that if you were by yourself, had your own place, you would be doing it anyway. You're just doing it with the benefit of a man paying for the house, keeping the lights on, make sure there's always food in the refrigerator. So really, are you really doing everything if he's doing all that and you're just making sure the house is clean and food is cooked? But again, that's feminism right there. They want to demonize the feminine role so much. Why? You win. You freaking win. Are you silly? Don't be silly. It's just being silly. You have that option by default, but you're going to go into college debt, trying to be all ambitious, being a supervisor and whatnot. When you all you got to do is make a sandwich, bills paid, done. What? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So that's the biggest thing because a lot of women, me and my wife, we kind of had our little phase with this. And when women have been through different things in their life, when they lacked a father, when they didn't have a father in the household, when they don't know the dynamics between a man and a woman, me and my wife both did not grow up with solid, authentic dynamics of the role of a man and a woman in our household as children. So that's why we both are healing so much or need healing because of these things, because of those type of traumas. And me and my wife, we went through that phase for a little while. And what I was pretty much back then trying to get my wife to see is like, yo, babe, you're gonna come up in this situation. The more successful I am, the more money I make, the more solid security and foundation that I could present to you and to the family, and what I can offer y'all, it works for you. You good. You set for life. You won't even have to work no more or nothing. Like, and as she started to accept that and she started to realize it, she's like, you know what? Yeah. You know? So yeah, like a women, y'all gotta understand, like, it really works out highly in your favor. And what I think is some of these women get it twisted when they start thinking about the things that maybe men would kind of be open to with success. And obviously that's options with women. Uh, that's what is it? Options with women. Obviously doing things and being on pursuits, obviously to do what their work is, what their purpose is, and obviously they're going to be exposed to the world. They're going to be out and about. I think a lot of women see that and view that, especially feminist women. They're like, oh shit, that's very powerful and desirable. But it's like, yo, no, it's not. For you, it shouldn't be. I mean, that's something that, yeah, we have, but shit, we deserve something too. If y'all get to be able to live, take care of the kids, and do what you was created and you are powerful at doing, right? You ain't got to worry about working or doing nothing. Everything taken care of. The castle is being built. We have the castle. We have everything that we need and you need. You good. So of course, men deserve some type of extra stuff that would be awesome for us too. And that is, it's even at the end of the day when we look at it. It works. If you
This
look at the benefits we get and they get, it's actually even. It's really nothing to argue about.
this idea of the 50-50 thing, I need to make X amount of money so you can make X amount of money. If I
Mm,
do the laundry this day, then you do the trash this day. No, fuck all that. Stick to the traditional roles, especially not to rush women in it per se, but the sooner the
mm,
better, because that biological clock is ticking and here comes the wall. We know it's coming. So if you just adapt to the traditional roles a lot sooner, you get out of that little phase of trying to be independent, then you win. You don't have to be overtly independent. And because a lot of women still, because you can't claim independence if you still want dependent results. A lot of women go down that independent path and then they turn around, they want a husband, they want a kid, but they done had all these real world experiences with this naivete, putting themselves down this rabbit hole that somebody at the end is going to save them when you could have just been saved from the jump. Just learn how. Women need to learn how to be women again. They over here whining about, well, we need a real man. How about you act like a real woman? Shut the hell up and make a sandwich, and you good.
Facts. 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 You listen, and we're gonna move on, but I just want to make this statement. You make a motherfucking, you do a banging sandwich. I'm telling you, bacon, some mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato, a banging BLT with some amazing, bread, and you hook that thing up and put your special feminine twist to that damn thing and make him feel like a king and give him some of that amazing vitamin P, as Tony like to say, and give him some of that and like show him love and stroke his ego. And listen, another thing, men by design, we are very forward and we do like to take initiative. So we do like to initiate sex. But a man also can appreciate when women will initiate sex sometimes. Sometimes we want to be desired. Sometimes we want you, sometimes we might want to come home and we want you already to have some lingerie on saying, I'm ready for some of that dick right now. Sometimes we might want that, I know a lot of men who's masculine that could agree with me, be like, yeah, I like that, every once in a while. So, add that into your arsenal as well, women, because men will appreciate it for sure. I know I do. I know I like that. So I can't speak for every man, but I know I like that shit. That shit turned me on, especially if she got on red. That's my color right there. That shit. I don't know what it is about red, bro. But anyway, all right.
Make sure
So
it's not
move
black.
on. It's the bull in me. I see that red. I'm just ready to now. All right. So Homer Simpson. So my man Homer Simpson, he said, true. He said, us guys be working. We come home, see that special lady playing Candy Crush, be like, oh, what the fuck moment. I feel where he coming from. I feel him. He like, you sitting here on the couch playing Candy Crush. Look at this damn house. I get it, man. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen the Homer Simpson, but clarify, man, if you're saying that this is your wife, this is your girlfriend, and y'all live together, or if this is just a chick that talking to or getting to know or just messing with, and y'all don't even live together yet. The reason why I said I was about to kind of, go in on you for a second is simply because, like, yo, if y'all don't live together and it ain't exclusive, then she ain't really entitled to do anything like this. She don't need to. She ain't got to wash your clothes and then wash the house. Unless she actually offers to do it, which is a dope ass awesome green flag. And she's just like, oh, I wash your clothes and shit. That's dope. Obviously, she's trying to let you know, like, hey, I'm willing to be that type of chick for you. So, just help us clarify that for me, bro, just so I can know where you're coming from. Because if you mean your wife or something, then yeah, hell yeah, y'all should have an understanding like that. And I understand if you feel like, damn, like what the fuck, man, if those things aren't happening. Me personally, I like to wash my own clothes though. That might just be me. I'm funny like that. I'm funny about my clothes. It's a weird thing. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to this next red flag, man. All right. Listen, this is a big one too, man. They all big. They all big, man. But another red flag is she doesn't have any like goals, man. Any goals or like any hobbies, or she doesn't have any type of like sense of individuality in terms of her sense of self. This is a very big red flag, man. And when I say goals, I don't mean like the type of goals like that men usually have. I don't mean like trying to start this huge business or trying to meet goals that will bring full security and foundation for the household. I don't mean those types of goals. I'm talking about like goals for themselves. Like, I don't know, maybe she wants to reach a certain weight. So she has a fitness routine that she's trying to do and she wants to reach that goal at such and such time. Or maybe she wants to start a nice little hair salon or some shit, and that's her goal. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Or if she ain't got no type of goals, that means she really ain't got no sense of self. And what can she really bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? What can she really bring to y'all unit? What makes her very desirable or interesting or even, worth even really joining with? So I think it's definitely a red flag if she doesn't have any hobbies or she doesn't have anything going in that sense, right? It's a red flag because a lot of times when people don't have any type of hobbies or goals, they're dealing with not really being in touch with their sense of self. And listen, when you're dealing with a woman who isn't really in touch with her sense of self, that comes from a lot of issues, right? Remember this, guys. This is something that I wish I would have knew when I was younger. If a woman is dealing with emotional or mental issues, that is going to be huge baggage for you if you try to take that on or bring that into your life. Now, everybody got something that they deal with. That's just life. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, find somebody perfect. Nah. Everybody gonna have something different, but certain shit you just don't want to have to deal with. You don't want to put yourself in a position where now you got to deal with it too because it's something they deal with. So it's just something to think about, guys, for sure. Where you stand on that, Tony?
I like the idea of the hobby thing because I agree with you on the point of having some kind of hobby, some sense of individuality that shows that she doesn't necessarily have to be that person who's super dependent on you to be there all the time. So
Mm,
it just wants to be there with you. So I like it on that point. The portion I was drawing back on, though, what you were saying about starting her own hair salon business, to
yeah.
me, that's that independent talk. You need to do all that by yourself. You want to be in the business world, like acting like a man, then we start things from the floor up. So do you. I think it's just kind of there's this female who's trying to be a nurse or whatever. No disrespect to her for wanting to work,
Mm,
but she's doing it with the idea of her boyfriend, who's a police officer, trying to basically be at home paying the bills. And already knowing her personality type, she's that one that likes to lord herself. So the idea of a female, I'm basically, let's say I'm working, I'm doing the whatever job, let's just say it's something basic skill set level to pay the bills, and
mm,
you're using me as a platform to get your little college degree so you can make more money than me. Oh hell no, no. So the idea of ambition, you men leave the ambitious women alone. If they're those free spirits or stuff like that, leave them alone. Let them do that on their own. Now, if they are, but again, the hobby thing, as in they got something just to do to keep their self preoccupied while you're out making the money, that's
Mhm.
good. And if we're going to talk about work, I would dare to say they don't want to do anything greater than having a part-time job at Dollar General. They're not trying to be a shift manager and making all that overtime. No, leave all that for the women who think they're independent. You're smarter than that. All you're doing is just putting a little money on the side, and then you bring that check home to your husband so he can put it away for the retirement. That's what the woman's mindset need to be, and men need to be on board and allow this to happen. But beyond that, she wants to be ambitious. You can do that by yourself.
Now, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, especially when you're referring to, wanting to start a business like on some like, yo, I'm trying to be like, just trying to build this big empire. Me in my mind, right? This is how I view that. I look at these different multiple businesses as multiple incomes that'll come into our unit, right? So
Okay.
essentially how I look at it is like a family hustle, right? So like say my wife, she don't do hair, but say she was interested, right? And she wanted to do it. I'm be honest with you, I even be encouraging my wife to find other ways to potentially start some type of business too. I'll look
Mhm.
at it like every source of income that we have coming into the house is all for our kingdom, right?
Mhm.
So if my wife wanted to open a salon, I know, okay, that's another income stream for our household and for our family hustle. I want our unit to be filled with businesses and business owners. As soon as my kids get old enough, I'm already be trying to teach my daughters, like, yo, let's see how we can make you designing bracelets a business. Let's see how we can do this and do that. That's my take on it. I don't think it's anything wrong with a woman potentially having a business in the family and bringing that type of income source to our unit, to our kingdom. But I feel what you're saying. If she's trying to run that business and she's trying to run the whole shit and be like, all right, I'm gonna be the breadwinner of the household and just trying to take over the whole vibe, okay, you can go somewhere by yourself and do that. But if you're
How,
willing to have an income source, bring that into our unit, and you all benefit from it as a unit, then I'm all for that.
how about this? I'll bend with you a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
If it's a way to develop more income for the household for preparation for children, I agree with you there. If y'all really want children that bad, but let's just say the man is not making that much money, and y'all just in kind of a hurry, her getting a job to make that happen, okay. But when the children come into play, I think there needs to be one of the caretakers there. You could say the man. I'm against that because I'm pro masculine. That you be the breadwinner, but when the children come into play, the woman can drop her job or drop whatever her occupation is to be that mother and help raise the children. Now, once the children get grown and out the house, or at least they graduate or damn near graduation, you can start to hustle again to freaking work on y'all's stuff. But I disagree with the hustling while you got children, because we're trying to keep the family in the family. We don't want any outsiders or big daddy government interfering with the family building, as in the children, the raising right there. So I'll bend on that notion. Let's build this wealth up so we can have children. Then after that, let's pause on that. The income is not there, but it's to raise the children. What do you feel about that? You think that's a reasonable
No,
compromise?
yeah, I understand it. I understand it because if it's for a common goal and it's for a common reason, so I feel you on that. That makes total sense. You know what I'm saying? I see. I guess that's where we meet hand in hand with it, or that's where we can come to an agreement because essentially what we're both saying is for a common goal.
Mm.
So depending on the situation and the scenario, if it's for say we're about to have kids or we're already planning on doing this, boom, 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 bam, boom, that's fine. My thing and my goal is like, all right, I want us to have an empire.
Okay.
So essentially, I'm pretty much still like the king of the castle. I'm still the CEO, you know what I'm saying? But we're all utilizing things and doing multiple businesses to bring a greater sense of financial security to our unit. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
Yeah.
quick story. Quick story. When I put my more hardcore as an, hey, you the man, you make the money. That's it. I did this. I told that to this other guy. Now this dude, he's definitely mama's boy at 40 years old. But so he, when I told him that, and he was like, "No, man, it takes two incomes to make a household." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. That should tell you that you can't afford a wife. You need to work harder. You're the one that needs to go to college and build your castle up to properly afford a wife." And of course, when he said that, he wanted to just do his little laugh, and I'm like, "What? You got a problem with working harder, being a man? Whatever, man." So I guess I'm taking a more staunch approach because I'm definitely trying to bring masculinity back and try to encourage men to not to back away from the modern point. I get it, and if you got the compatible partner to make the modern thing work, it works. I can't argue it. But we got this heavy push from the feminist side, and they just want to do everything and emasculate men. No, we need to take a strong push on bringing that back. That's just me.
No, I feel you. I definitely feel your perspective, and I even agree with it because, see, I think the difference of what we both saying, or maybe where you may not fully see where I'm the picture I'm painting is I'm still the king in the situation.
Hmm.
So the reason why it's even happening to begin with is because I'm giving the okay for it anyway. So like if I was just like, you know what, nah, I don't think that we should do that at all. I don't think that it'll be beneficial, then we shouldn't do it at all. And nah, I don't think you should go that direction. And
Right.
I believe that my wife would respect that, right?
Okay.
Um, if she didn't, then obviously it's like, okay, now I gotta figure out what's up. But I see where you're coming from though. And yes, as men, we should be able to fully handle that entire thing, right? But I also believe that it depends on the type of goals or the type of life that the individual wants to live. So, me, in my mind, the sky is the limit. The sky ain't even the limit. I want to go past the sky because we got satellites and shit out of the atmosphere of the earth, right? But to an individual who's kind of like, I have this set mark that I want us to at least be making, and I want to generate that myself. Like, say it's 200,000 a year, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you get that together, you like, boom, that's good, that's satisfying, that's good for my family, that's good, that's more than enough for us to do what we got to do and live how we want to live. I understand that and I appreciate that, and that's fine if that's where you want to be. But in my mind, I kind of think like Ti. I see they going through a lot of bullshit a little bit, but I like the fact that his wife has businesses, he got businesses, and they're able to bring all those income streams into their domain. You understand what I'm saying? Which
Okay.
makes them more richer and more wealthier. So I'm thinking in a sense of wealth. That's the best way to put it. I'm thinking about wealth. I'm thinking about the more businesses we got, the more that can be handed down, and then the more and more it could be attached to our legacy as a family.
Hey,
Uh,
I respect the that empire. You definitely have a higher empire building mindset than I do. Me,
yeah,
I'm just more of a humble man. My empire is my little bubble I got right here, and if you can't add to it as and make it comfortable, so I can keep building,
yeah.
then I don't need you. That's where I'm coming from.
I feel you, and we on the same page. We on the same page because that's how I feel. You know, but mind you, that is my goal and that's my priority. It is for me to make the bare minimum myself so
Hmm.
that my wife ain't gotta do pretty much she ain't even gotta do no business. It would like we still straight regardless. But if she was decide to want to do it, or if it was something that she really finding interest in or feel some purpose in, that she could benefit and bless people or her friends or other women or whatever, do that shit, especially if it's gonna bring more wealth to us. So but we still see it we still looking at it in the same page. It's just a different perspective. But essentially, we're saying the same thing. The man solidifies the income of what all we need first. You know, I'm just kind of going more outside of the box in a sense where it's like, all right, let's see how we can get more income from these different ways. But I feel you. I respect your view too. I see what you're saying. Like a woman shouldn't have to do that. She
Just
shouldn't have to.
in the name of masculinity, trying to bring it back. No, women, make a sandwich. I daddy got it.
Exactly.
Then
So
you hit that Usher song. You know daddy's home. Then you know what to do.
yep, be going daddy's home. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, real talk. So I mean, yeah. Either way, guys, I think both of those perspectives are powerful for a man, and it's very masculine. Both are very masculine. Masculine, I think. All right. So now we're gonna move on to the next red flag. All right. Very, very whew, all right, super one. All right.
Oh,
So yeah, this is a big one, yo. I'm telling you, y'all need to pay attention to this shit. So she keeps talking about her ex. Like
ooh,
like she talks about her ex a lot. I'm talking about like it's like, yo, damn, how many times is she gonna keep talking about the ex, or why does she keep bringing up her ex? And the reason why this is a huge red flag simply is because she might not be fully over that ex, right? That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be with somebody and it's like, oh shit, damn, you trying to really build something with them, but they're not fully over their ex. That's a huge red flag. You get locked in or you invest into this new situation, and the next thing you know, she like, I can't do it no more, and she keep it 100 with you and be like, it's my ex. I'm not over him. Or just simply just always talking about the ex. Like y'all could already be together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could already kind of have something established. And she's just always talking about her ex. My ex this, my ex that. Or if she compare you to your ex or to her ex, oh, that's a big ass red flag. Man, you better leave. You better let that she for the streets. She compare you to her ex. She is for the streets. Kick her the hell out the house or wherever the hell y'all at. I don't care, car, house, I don't care what city bus, wherever y'all at, kick her out of that shit. And she belongs to the streets.
because that right there is very disrespectful. Number one, and
Yeah.
number two, it's a sign that a woman is keeping her options open. So
Facts.
whatever situation the ex and her fell out, she still got him on the mind while she's freaking trying to get resources from you. Men, that's called that hypergamy. It's monkey branching. They just swing to the next one, but sometimes they want to be able to swing back. So men, don't let them swing on you just for the time being, so they can swing to somebody else or swing to her ex. So if she got the ex on the brain, hell no. And for women, you need to do your, I don't know, maybe you are that woman, maybe you are, don't let your man know at the get what you, I'm throwing the man under the bus a little bit here. If you're going to be smart about it, women, um when you're over there, you just swinging on that monkey branch with your current man, and you maybe want to swing back to the other one, you can't let him know. And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to tell you to cheat on them, even though it's just disrespectful that you have that mindset. If you ain't over your ex, that means you need to leave people alone till you can say no to them. That's just being a healthy adult. But women adulting don't go hand in hand a lot of times. It is what it is. But you can't let him know this. You got to treat whatever your current man is as the king. He is your king now. So whatever kings you were entertaining in the past, you got to freaking keep it in the back of your head. He can't know.
Facts. Yeah. If you yeah. Because we don't condone that hide this from the new guy. But because we listen, guys, we trying to point out the red flags to y'all. Them women, they gonna figure out this shit. They gonna have to figure out what the hell they got going on. We are trying to school you guys, you fellas. If they start talking about their ex, or definitely if they compare you to the ex, that's a done deal. That's a done deal. You don't that should be non-negotiable. You know, things are gonna happen. Obviously, it depends on how long you've been knowing the chick or how long y'all been together. But yeah, if she compare you to the ex or she's just talking about her ex a lot, that's a huge red flag. Especially if you meet, like if you having a date with her, it's normal to kind of talk about the ex in a sense of getting to know somebody. Y'all gonna have a conversation. Little things are gonna come up. It's normal. She might kind of you might ask her about when the last time she been in a relationship, boom, bam, boom, vice versa. That's normal. But if you just find things, just keep like y'all driving around somewhere, and she see a car, she like, oh yeah, my ex had that car, or like you just notice she's just like keep talking about the fucking ex, like it's
I
like
didn't ask
yo,
you. I didn't ask
exactly.
you.
I don't ain't worry about your ex. I'm not really interested in your ex. So like if you talking about your ex, why don't you go fuck with him then? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's a huge, super huge red flag, man. And guys pay attention. Like I said, women I think they do it more than we do as men, but they can't help it. They have to like tell you shit about themselves. Women talk a lot, so it's gonna come out. They're gonna spit it out. Men, we talk a lot too, but most of the time, we're pretty we talk a lot about things that we're super passionate about. The bullshit we don't really talk too much about. And that's the difference between women and men, I think. Men, we like to talk about things that's passionate, things that could create and make something because it's masculine.
Mm.
We like to talk about progress. Not to say that women don't like to talk about these things, but I'm speaking majority, not minority, majority. And I feel like women tend to like to gossip more. Men be gossiping too, man. That shit is whack. Stop doing that, man. But men gossip too. But I know women like to tend to gossip more. They like to focus on the negative or what's popping, what's happening. Women tend to be a bit more neurotic, meaning they tend to worry more about things. So they like to kind of talk about the shit that they worried about more. Men, we're less neurotic in most cases. So we ain't really, if we worry about some shit, we really don't want to talk too much about the shit. You know what I'm saying? I know that's how I am. I mean, yeah, because we know it's not gonna change shit. We keep talking about it. So with that being said, listen, women are going to talk and they're going to tell you the truth. It's going to slip out, especially people who got issues. They do it the most. That's where these red flags come from. They can't help it. It's just kind of like like a big red flag too is like a woman being like super duper vulnerable when she first meets you. Like I'm talking about telling you every damn thing like the first day. Man, that's a big ass red flag, man.
Another not another topic, but on this page here, um when a woman, she's telling herself with this, when she leads with a sob story trying to get you to feel sorry for her, there it
Mm,
is right there. That's a red flag. It's that they can't help it. It's in the back of their head, and they're digging for sympathy. That's what they want to do. They want to manipulate your emotions to feel for them. And when
mhm.
she leads with a sob story, that's a red flag. So when you listen to these women, don't think with your heart, don't think with your dick, or feel sorry for her. It's these are red flags. A lot of these innocent conversations, red flags. Be aware of the shit testing questions too. If they ask you about your money or ask you about your job, yeah, it sounds like it's an innocent enough question. It's something that people talk about. She's gauging you to see how much respect she's actually going to give you.
Yes. And that's another thing too. That's another huge red flag. Super duper interested in your money. Listen, ask you all types of questions about how much money you got, where you work at, what you doing. Like if that's the first question, couple questions that a chick asks you, like it ain't nothing wrong because chicks let us say, well, what do you do? It ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But if the questions just kind of keep staying in the realm of like how much money you making, it's like, yo, why are you worried about that? So right off, like listen, huge red flag. But yeah,
That's how I gave that. That's how I gave that one chick the gold digger title. That's was she was laying all those little keywords about money, talking about security. What the fuck do you think I know what that means? Security. You want somebody to pay them bills? Playing. And then you want to talk about how broke you are, thinking you're going to manipulate me to help pay those bills. Stop playing. And men, we need to. They keep doing it because men are just they're not as clever as they think. They think they're being clever, but the truth is, we're thinking with our hearts and our dicks. We're doing whatever it takes to get the pussy. We got to stop overvaluing pussy like that
yeah,
because here they go. They're going to do the things, but pay attention. Security. Oh, I'm broke. Somebody beat me before. These are all red flags for you to go.
yeah, man, and that's grooming too. Women will groom the shit out of your ass.
Ooh,
If
good
if
word.
a chick start, if she start crying, like if you meet her the first day and she starts expressing some things and it leads to tears, bro, red flag, man, red flag, super duper huge red flag. Because she's grooming you. She's getting you ready. She wants to see where your heart is. She wants to see if you're the type of person that's gonna be like, oh, come here. You know, and she wants to see if you're gonna try to uh sympathize and empathize for her. Because then
Mhm.
that's how she'll be able to see and know, like, oh, I can get him. I can get anything out of him. All I gotta do is just start crying. All I gotta do is just get sad. She's grooming you. So that's a huge red flag as well. If a chick start telling you the sob story, telling you this person, that person did this to her, that person did something to her, and she just don't know what to do, and she ain't got no people in her life, and this woe is me, this woe is me. They be killing that woe is me shit. That's when you know you around a crazy chick or potentially, emotionally and mentally unstable chick. If you just met her and she's just in this woe is me shit, the whole conversation while y'all dating is about all the shit she got going on and what's wrong with her life. Bro, red flag, man. Step the fuck away. Cause she's gonna try to make that shit your problem too. And she's gonna be mad at you if you don't embrace the problem as if it's yours too. So don't be deceived by this shit, y'all. Don't be deceived. And a lot of these women don't mean any harm either, man. It's just they're just in a rough space at the time. You just don't want that rough space to become your rough space too. You got your own rough shit that you're trying to get through or get over. Focus on that, get your shit together, you know. And even still, don't be wasting your time with women like that, man. Just let them figure their own shit out. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, because it ain't nothing that we could do. It took me a long time to accept that I'm not supposed to fix somebody and I can't fix somebody. It also took me a long time to realize that I'm not supposed to help anybody do anything or deal with their own deep issues. They are supposed to help themselves deal with their deep issues because they're the only one who can help themselves with their deep issues.
Mm-hmm.
We can go all day, all night. You could talk. I've done this shit and wasted so much of my energy on trying to help somebody deal with their own issues and try to make it easier for them. And guess what? They never dealt with the issues. The cycle just kept going and going and going and going until I eventually realized, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to shut the fuck up and let them deal with it themselves. Oh, I'm supposed to stop trying to help them, and then they have no other fucking choice but to help themselves. Now they got to do it, or they gonna be in a fucked up position. That's when stuff started to change with my wife, with other people. It was when I really was able to really grab that idea and feel the positives of it. It was when I was able to, it was a lot of shit going to hell, and I was able to turn my head and say, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm going to go about my business. And then I came back, and guess what? They dealt with their shit. They took responsibility for their own shit. And guess what? Every person is going to do that. Because at the end of the day, everybody loves themselves at the end of the day, whether they realize it or not, even if they're struggling to understand their love. You're not going to allow yourself to just, jump off of a roof or a cliff. Because you love yourself that much where you ain't just gonna commit suicide. So that's a big one, guys. Very big. Except that you can't do nothing about it. You can't help them with their deep issues. Only we can only help ourselves with our deep issues. Nobody else. So we got some comments over here. Oh, the whole swoles. All right. So Jonathan Parker, I'm gonna check him out. It's a new guy. All right, he says some weak men do that too. The victim attitude whole day, just weak, regardless of gender. He said, fixing somebody is only realistic after years of stable love. Then when your partner falls in the deep end, it's logical to help, but a relation should never be based on that. Yo, Jonathan, let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. Even after years of stable love, an individual still shouldn't try to fix somebody, bro. I don't get me wrong. You making some good points, so I'm not invalidating what you're saying because you're making some good points in your comments. But here's the thing that I want to strongly push because I went through this shit and it was my weakness. A lot of people would consider me as a very strong person, but I was dealing with this weakness for years, thinking that that's what made me strong, trying to fix shit that I couldn't fix. But anyway, I know about this. I know what I'm talking about, man. Listen, I don't care how stable the love is, right? I don't care how even how healthy your relationship is. Obviously, it ain't that healthy if there's some deep issues going on. You can't fix it, or you can't fix an individual. They're not broken, first of all. They're not broken. People have to take responsibility for themselves. And guess what? We all have to respect each other as worthy to be able to take responsibility for ourselves and deal with our own shit. You try to fix somebody, especially if they have issues that they ain't dealing with. I know I'm going in, y'all, but I want to make this point. Like, I didn't realize how offensive that actually probably was for a lot of people that I was just trying to fix all the time. The first thing they probably thought is like, yo, he don't think that I can deal with my own issues. So if they were dealing with deep issues, it probably discouraged them, especially if they looked up to me or they respected me. It probably discouraged them. It probably made them feel like, oh shit, like, damn, maybe I can't. deal with my own issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is why I am so against trying to fix people's issues, man. You will exhaust yourself to death. You will become depressed every time you start to realize that with all the energy you putting into it ain't fixing shit. You will become. I was depressed, man. I know firsthand, guys. Do not try to fix anybody, man. You will end up absorbing all of the person shit, all of their negative issues, all of their depression, all of their confusion, all of those negative emotions. You will begin to absorb that shit, and then you'll start to think that something's wrong with you for real, when really you're just fucking depressed because you putting all the energy in it. It's not changing anything. It's because you can't fix it for them. They got to fix that shit.
You can't fix those who don't want to fix themselves. Yeah, like you said, you will drive yourself crazy trying to fix someone else's problem. Um,
Yes.
Example, I was talking to this young girl. I was mentoring her a little bit. Now she cliche as fuck, but she's a young girl. She's sticking with her boyfriend for X amount of time, but he's a typical jackass. He's broke. He doesn't make any money. She's the one making the money, but she's complaining the whole time. So I'm hitting her with the real. You need to either A, make him make the sandwich, put your foot down, or B, go ahead and bounce out of here because he's not doing anything. There's the problem right there in that story. She can't fix him. So when I'm telling her this, she doesn't want to even take the answers to that would help her problem. So to me, if you don't want to solve your own problem and you don't want to hear advice that would actually help you solve your problem, you want the problem. That's a toxic person and a toxic mentality to want problems. And it's guess what? It's not my responsibility, not your responsibility, not Kevin's responsibility to push you through that. You on your own.
Facts. Yes, man. Amen. Totally agree with that. And I think that'd be the biggest thing with a lot of people who are fixers. I'm telling you. I know it took me years to realize, but I know why I was such a fixer. And it was because that's what I was doing in the most traumatic, most hopeless, most trapped moments of my life. When I accepted that as that's my way to feel safe. So that's why I was trying to fix people even in my adulthood. A lot of us do these things and don't realize that it's subconscious, right? But wherever you may have went through trauma in your life, if you didn't heal and get over that trauma, you more than likely are recreating those exact scenarios and dynamics in your adult life, whether you realize it or not. Um, so I understand it, guys. Jonathan, okay, so Jonathan Parker, he said, I agree that everyone bears his or her own cross. I agree with that. That's why I would never go to a shrink. Only me knows. Well, see, I'm gonna keep it 100. I agree with that everybody bears their own cross, but I don't agree that you shouldn't talk to maybe a therapist or a counselor because, man, I'm telling you, they really help with gathering your thoughts. That's how I was able to gain more awareness. I give all glory to God for it, but see, what people fail to realize is God will use other people to help you and blessing you with what you're asking for. So, like, in a nutshell, that was a part of my healing and that was a part of me becoming aware about all of this stuff that y'all be hearing me talk about. It was literally me going and seeing a counselor and doing my own research and praying and God helping me, like, really pretty much like counsel myself, man. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Um, okay, so Sharon, she said, please don't talk about suicide. A friend of mine lost a family member last week of that. All right, Sharon. Yeah, I hate to hear this. I hate to hear that happened. But I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. No disrespect to you, Sharon, but nah. I mean, if I want to talk about suicide, I can talk about it. That's the problem. A lot of people aren't talking about things like that, and that's why it's going so rampant. Because people who feel like they want to do that don't feel comfortable. They that's a deep topic, but yeah, I'm going to talk about it if I want to talk about it. But I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry. My condolences to whoever did that and their family for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about it because things need to be talked about. Um, but yeah, man, shoot, hey, we definitely dug deep on this episode, and I'm just glad we was able to talk about some powerful red flags, guys, fellow kings, my men. I hope that y'all were able to really embrace and gravitate to those red flags. If you're watching this video after the live, I want y'all to comment some flags below, man, in the comment section. And just kind of share some things that maybe we didn't touch on that y'all might think are red flags, just to kind of get that flow going underneath this video, so that we can become more aware about red flags in women. Men, you want to pay attention. Don't look over it. Don't let the pussy blind you. Don't let her validating you and say, "Oh, you so sexy," or "You so attractive," or "You're so cute," or "I like this." Because women will validate the shit out of you. I'm telling you, women love to do that shit. You know, um,
And
don't let that blind you. Would you say, Tony?
but then there's a price. After all that
Exactly.
ego, after all that ego stroking, all right, what you want to do for me? But I
2 weeks.
thought you liked me.
2 weeks later, she like, "All right, motherfucker, you gonna do what I tell you to do." Like, damn, bitch, you was just all on my nutsack. Now the tables are turning, huh? Fuck out of here. But yeah. So yeah, guys, like I said, I hope y'all really was able to find this valuable. Thank y'all for coming through, watching the podcast, man. Y'all know we're gonna be coming back next week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time sharp. And who knows, we might actually have our new co-host on that episode as well. Still working things out, man, but excited to have him to join the podcast, man. It's dope. Me and Tony, we killing it. We holding it down. But it's just something about the number 3, man. When it comes to just having that like triune perspective on things. It's like this perspective, and then this perspective. It's kind of a great way to like kind of, meet things in a triangular sense. Um, I think it's dope. So, but yeah, listen, if y'all got any questions or anything, comment below. Um, subscribe if you ain't subscribed yet. Go ahead and tickle that notifications bell so you don't miss any of these episodes. You know what I'm saying? Make me and Tony laugh. You could tickle it. You could DJ the notifications bell. Do whatever you want to do with it, bro. Uh, start scratching and shit. Do what you do, man, so you don't miss out on these dope, powerful episodes, man. And we're gonna keep it going. Listen, every man is a king of his own kingdom. Embrace your masculinity and build your kingdom. Until next time, brothers.
Peace out.